That's right. Chemega nyeme. Nyefe nyeyi ana walada. Mr. Papo. Ufine be oye ojogbam. Ye shibami. Bomode ni ojani femo. Maoti. Ufine kekemi. Machue ni kengbe show ne na no onu. Ufine wa adenche. Injomoje no fiyo ko. Jani femo ni okiyamboko. Dilewu ikeba eba fita wa 34 May 25 eliki bomode confita the rest of the people ni like ko here bomode ni oja ni femo ni okehame like mo boli share mo kengme platforms ano ni oyofen mlenche mi na kengme na picture a freezy fio hopefully as the show goes on eba fe ojogban dienche ni no fe no aye emu so bear with me for just a short period of time. The lenche eba fixi ojuba baby I can transition from the Wi-Fi to Ethernet ni efio na kan. Now, chemeganyeme. Nene iba nkabo ba yue Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata sandi. Nyefa na nyega kiawo. Beje wa fe proper Friday vibes eche. Skwengmene wanta wa fe ko wana some interesting stories jinkomeni waka baba. She wana video kaje I think many Friday right so kaje to Monday ni video going trend mo she what for me she kaje many Friday kaje show kaje Wednesday ka ba won na ke no I circulate video wa de nche hey shout outs to you Niansama ba fita ho Niansama Jenny GHTV nyefenye bo amode ya YouTube ya follow Jenny GHTV Niansama nkebo ake Jenny GHTV abo exclusives de nche ngene de nche esegme ko I think aga nye about Asafoatse yeli ya Ga-Mashie'S moniji onugba Jenny GHTV ya YouTube ni oya follow le yejeme ye ba na ke be pie we try videos ye be bona so call follow le before podi ma try video eni nkeba fe show oba na ke oba komo le no nwe ke ote Facebook le nwe follow mo le Facebook na ka no Jenny GHTV ke ote Facebook oba na ni ansaba ke ote e logo oba na ke afe Africa map bona Africa map ni ake Ghana flag colors so Africa map show bana red gold green bona so bomode ni o follow ni ansaba Jenny GHTV ya YouTube ke Facebook fe obana exclusive like ebale kusumi ke ni bi esane he is always there if I your doorstep there be na ga nsene te anewoton nyebo amode nyebo amode ni nye follower ni ansaba Jenny GHTV. Let's go on now. Video eteno for a while. We decided, my team and I decided not to talk about it. Shout outs to ni Amujan Jama Pokwase Manche Ufane Boy Ojuba Agbenewe Uncle Ike Lewu Eba Fatawoyi. She kaja Wednesday akaba mi na again producer be on your good behavior. Actually video and circulate why and as anyone respond. You understand what I'm saying? Once again. Look, there is nothing in Kebwake noni ona ni the past couple of weeks aywe between Nungwake Ga-Mashie ni ona nakaino. It is sibling rivalry. It happens all the time. Look, chatabi bione le bino bana eke dote mbolo. Dote yelo nukwa for 10 years. She been over and get bolo. Sibling rivalry. It is what it is. But when ye watashi koni distort the facts. Ni afite history. You understand what I'm saying? Brakote eba trashi. Dave Easing leun eba trashi. You understand? We're not gonna sit down. Ni wabani me distort facts. Ni ole. It is extremely sad when somebody ni happens to be your own. Ni the person is in a position ni you expect them okay they will ambayu ankwali ni amefe no ni sa. You understand what I'm saying? Ni onake they've gone around ni history ni wanyeme ba ni taflache amechonye fio le because of suban ni nakan time efe Nina kan suba ehi ejai wo he was forced. You understand? he was forced to sell. You understand? To sell the honor of his community. That's what he did. Video is circulating. But before we get to the video, I'm building case so you will know the type of person we are dealing with. Look, I wouldn't it's a bitter pill. But we should be able to swallow it. I say this all the time. I would not always get it right. I have repeated it here and here and here and here. Uncountable times. I am not a repository of all knowledge. I will get it wrong every now and then. What I've said to myself and what I've promised you as Sinkwalogiake, anytime I would come here and I will let you know that I got it wrong. And I've done it a couple of times. Yes, I may not be so much vociferous in my taking no back because it's just human nature. But when I'm wrong, and I will let you know I am wrong. Correct me. Even when I apologize, and Tabia apologize, I've apologized where I have to. You understand what I'm saying? Jimmy, I will get it wrong. But that being said, Keji Moko fiteni, Keji Moko su kebang, Keji Moko bejiano to e bad bi komana ne hani machine ya yin, and to a larger extent whether you are my family or you are not my family, I will speak about it. You understand what I'm saying? Ni inkeba Asafoatse Mankata, I don't know. I can let me do ba. She care about me, but somehow I'm related to him, but I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? Because look, if you are looking for the people, ne anyone no, ye ni bi koma he, olo ye Ga-Mashie'S, Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata. If it aiko, it's part of it. If it aiko, and it must be said and said, forcefully. You know, we do this once again. Not because one town was shwe mukonyashi, but we do this because one town any afe ni kwamono can the generations unborn. One document in a can be nefe boni afe ni you know be konko meni baba ameba na ni ame kwe ni ame botwe ni ame kase ni nkejami ake be ko ne ho cheme ko meni banye wo yin ame fomo ame na jojogba ame fe ni bi ojogba no ka we ba she ene ka we ba she ne. If you are asking me, one person, ne ani Ga-Mashie'S efe boni efe ye wo Manchester, it's him. Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata, it is him. Ni ole amale yone imami call me da ake indicate come on. You are better off always speaking the truth at all times. Speak your truth, stick to it, and do what you have to do. Because you're keji o male, oba be it's no male no ke cover. Amalia no male ken clean. Amale no ba male second time we be no male amale no ke male third time ke cover the second one. Oba nye male mo until oba you adukwale. Ni video ni circulator ni wanye me nu wa me poster because Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata, he was in the wrong. If no ne sa ne fio ne we sa ne male ni ehe e describe no mo la koti adu awushi ne kenaka wo kenaka nu nyame ha babulum. The description ne fair na kan video mi. The only person ni a describe all na kan ni ale ake, and I will tell you the history is there. Ni ale ake fio na kan leji shiche numo la koti adu awushi. But because he found himself, ye efon femomi, ni he found himself, ye tamohe, ni esane tai wo, esanie male, and he took the glory and the honor of wafe wo icho, niki shiche numo lakoti adu awushi, neke ha, babulo. And this is what happens. Keji oye anukwali, keji ofe no nisa. Keji ofo yake bueta flache obani omusu alidibo This is exactly what happens. Ko male shikomie isano male kon no kachina ka male no. Ko male shienyo ba male kon no kachia male enyoni o fe no. You understand what I'm saying? Now, before we get to that video, me don't call Boake. Yes, 1725. But what I say, mene tell show. We say oh show. Captain Nseni Mankata woke up. What I say about in fact, I'm going to let it slide. Get to enjoy labor. But like I said, this week, when you many on Nwame, I circulate Captain Kojo Nseni Mankata video. Wow, diente. Kenya ba akwa na week na femfeko ile go nunwasani mfeko nibi page ko ni manye nkefi, but I didn't touch it until Inaka circulate this particular video. Wow. And I said, no, today we need to deal with this once and for all, because history your name, because what Jia come at distort facts come what beni waba one waba nani work on working yano. You understand what I'm saying? And that must be changed. We need to correct the record. Once again, I don't know it all. I am not, look, I'm not a Jay Gandang historian, Jimmy. I am not. But a very basic, nin kanyo, nin buatwe, nin kwa, nin nuo, ni, I can see documentary evidence supporting what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing. Nimi nake logically, make sense. Allo it make sense. Mama tabia ni mama share with you. And of course, you can disagree with me. Do so as and when you wish. It is very, very important. I say this all the time. Can me agree? I need to stop the show. It means I'm doing something wrong. I need you to disagree with me. I need you to call me out when I'm wrong. That is the only way we can build a better Gandangbe. Now, let me start. I'm trying to build a whole sermon for Asafoatse Nseni Mankata. So stay with me. And once again, people like him, ni yo Ga-Mashie'S ni Ga-Mashie'S. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata with his own uncle. Ni Adamalache. You see, the issues are connected. But I have to. I want you to know the type of person you are dealing with. I'm building the case. This is him. Eke chekwe dumoshi. Ekele dumoshi. Ekele dumoshi. Ake Sempe School headmaster. Ekele dumoshi. Ake CEO. Yekolebu Teaching Hospital. Ekele dumoshi. Ake Freeman. Bishop. Shi ekele dumoshi. Ake Gamanche. Ni Asafoatse Onupa. Kelenye. Omobiami. Ni Ashwani. Noshi. Ekele dumoshi ye. Forget him about Echekwe. Shi egbena. Ake Asafoatse Onupa. No polenche sane ebayi. When yeme okuji etuobi amamba to abeno. We'll get into that. Once again, call Teni and Saman page. Obanake FA story from both camps. So, Bomode Jenny GHTV. Nian Saban ete both camps ne FA story. Obana yeme. We'll get into that later. She le. Egele jasa ga dangbe Asafoatse me fe le jonupa. So, edumoshi. In this picture, no na as Asafoatse Onupa ni eke Gamanche. Once again, Gamanche Ashwani Omobiani Chameganyame Ekele dumoshi. Once again, Ake Sempe School headmaster. Thank you. So Niansame Aniwale Eka Kuji to installation yano bekene no. So we'll get into that. So Bona. So we'll get into the history. No one na Ojuba. So thank you. Niansame confirm me yawo. Ekele dumoshi. Ake Sempe School headmaster. Ekele dumoshi. Ake Kolebu CEO. Shout out to Mr. Parkins. Ekele dumoshi. Ake Gamanche. Gamanche nile Asafoatse Mankata eto mimpodi enche ni adamalache wa ni atole. Both Tumobeni will call it in cash and kind. Cheme nyembo bitwe. Both in cash and kind. Edumema say Asafoatse ne yo ni adamalache wa na tole, both in cash and in kind. Watch this guy. A couple of years later, anima trap video ne mahabo ni obotwe ni noni efe. Ama trap video ne mahabo no kwe okwe noni efe. Ni okwe noni efe. Bear with me. I'm queuing it up. In queue lo moshi minta ma chike ya here ni wabo Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata. Actually, you know what? Let me. Okay, yeah, no, 1 second. Okay, there we go. There we go. I didn't get trouble. There we go. Yes, you guys can see it. Now, let's play the video. Ni wakwe no ni te no ebie.
Bury their differences and install a new Gakin.
Asafoatse me. Asafoatse me. Mi hanyo manye.
Benyana money utage. Benyana, look, ni ainenunu. Lewu a history with ni adamalache. But that is something for later. Bona, you see, when you have people that are not principled, ni ameje anukwale, no gwe washiye. Ni ainenunu. Inke, he has history with ni adamalache. We will reserve that for later. Because mene lembe no. She leo na. Now, come on it no ebie.
Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, the image of the Ga State has sunk so low in public esteem that we have.
Let me. I don't want to listen to him right now. Wababa no later. I want us to. So me skip him. Me tani washe Asafoatse Kojo Nseni. Yes.
Ni Abula is not alone with this call. Head of the Ga State Warriors, Asafoatse Captain Ni Mankata, has also added his voice, saying it's long been overdue to have the revered stool of the Gakin duly occupied.
Captain Ni Kojo Nseni Mankata, the fourth. Within a shortest time, I urge the 4 ruling houses which made the kingmakers of the Ga State to give me and my Asafoatse and Asafoatse men and the Ga State, the Ga-Mashie'S.
Nyefane benyanu no neke. Echegbe neke within the shortest possible time. The 4 ruling houses ni atuo manche ye miye. Amele le captain ke Asafoatse men manche. Nyefane nyebia Captain Kojo Nseni Mankata ake. Picture ni nke chombo elia no mie edumoni adamalache mase ake ni adamalache headmaster yesempe school. You see how disingenuous and how unprincipled this guy is. This is the sort of person we are dealing with. Let me go back. Now, this was after, years after, no, I can picture, no, now he sold whatever relationship ni eke uncle yo ekpata ke ejuro ni echekwe efele. He sold it for money. E aeshika ne nyeme ne loma here. Na me ba fe ne ken press conference ni eliake ato echekwe manche. Ni eke echekwe echuni akele Asafoatse ni echekwe manche ni. This guy Ebatashi ne fair press conference. Inge ni a no anytime I say let your history with me adamalache. I will bring that later. I want you to see the people that we are dealing with. So uncle, look, you are too brash. Obumo, no jome, no you are watabie, no you are no pasani agwagbe. I want you to ask yourself, okay, are these people yes are not relying on me as leaders low? Are these people many of me ye anukwale? Many of me kutumpo efe mamani amebu. Ask yourself, okay, are these people fit for purpose? Man refer to amen again as if you already know. Are these people fit for purpose? Let's go back again a little bit. No bullet to it.
As I end my speech, I pick a verse from Colossians chapter 1, verses 12, which says, I give thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. God bless you all. God bless the Ghana State. God bless the council. And God bless Mother Ghana. Thank you all.
Ni Abula is not alone with this call. Head of the Ga State Warriors, Asafoatse Captain Nseni Mankata, has also added his voice, saying it's long been overdue to have the revered stool of the Ga King duly occupied.
Captain Kojo Nseni Mankata, the fourth. Within a shortest time, I urge the four ruling houses which made the kingmakers of the Ga State to give me and my Asafoatse and Asafoatse men and the Ga State, the Ga-Mashie'S, within a month. They should let me know the Ga-Mashie'S I'm going to work with. I cannot be in my palace every day. I cannot call myself Asafoatse without a Mashie, a Ga-Mashie's. That is why I have invited you here this morning to let the public, each and everyone who matters in the Ga State, to hear what I am saying. I said I need Ga-Mashie's within 1 month from now. If they don't do so, I and my Asafoatse and Asafoatse men will bring fire to them. The fire which I sent to the Amunas and the Ashantis, I will give it back to them.
Anyways, so there you go. So you heard him clearly. Benyenwe. No anye bi Asafoatse Mankata ke echekwe bi amine kele dumo bi e no mi minishie kele dumo edumo sia ka Asafoatse ni echekwe ne kele dumo ma se no mi echekwe mini position echekwe occupy yo nenye bi alake bi amini enyema anye na afa ne ke press conference ne ani no mi echekwe egbo no mi echekwe akpale no mi echekwe eke manche eye don. Nomie echekwe egbo. Nomie echekwe akpale. Nomie echekwe ekama. Look, noni wa fioni. Ni bi etene ni yuo. Keji ete no. Moko tabia ne ba fe no ne fioi. Itambie. Kakpa ni adamalache. Na achon bekpakpa no na akpale. Look, cheme luko. Cheme ni batogampwe. They lay down principles. Kaba akpabwe achebo. I read all charges. It's a proper trial, just like you are in a court. Manchekamo, there is a proper trial. To court. They call you, your charges are read to you, you are given a chance to defend yourself. No, no, gidi no awomo kogaga no afoto akpe no ni akpale je na kanji boni cheme tole. Mona, so no one agretene no bana noni momo ko ye lorry station ko no wakpabo afoto akpe ye je na kanji boni cheme tole ke akpa manche based on the outcome of the trial about chebo about redo charges habo about egbe you about open up or defense. Because you open up for defense, Nicheme Tashi, Nianake, yes, you are guilty of the crime not chargeable with Dani Abaya no Niabatabu. Ateshi Kakeu Akamanche. So if you don't know this, no one are better than any a for Mogwelori station, a for Janaka Akamanche. Blema, be they laid down the principle. Because I mean, Tani no fair no affair jolly. Nimokweche ni Adamalache and read the charges because it was installed properly. I will let you me. Akale kita me ni sana me fe kusumi ha me numa sakumo fe kusumi hale ni gbese je moni kale kita asene ja se che je me leke faye bule ye Ga-Mashie'S me the people that matter me ni sani ame chukusumi na kai meje me ni chukusumi ha ni Adamalache ne wakeje fe no ko ni sana chale achukusumi egbe na no boni cheme ke hwehie na akepale ani achele and you read a crime a hale, and you had the chance to open up a defense. So atakole ni Adamalache egboko eke kwake manche eyedun. So te balete ni Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata elu me na fi press conference ne ko ake ahale manche. Fiote konamo ne ye anukwale ni shika nye ni shika lead your le nakan. Look at him manchane edume masene kele shwani nakan time ne afa press conference no mi akpale no mi manche egbo no mi manche eke ye don. This man helped you. You were struggling. He used whatever position he has to help you. You know, the neighbor na bega kwe lumojibo neke nuchumo esabo ba. No mi Asafoatse challenge de ege nyemi mpele. But ni Adamalache supported him. For those of you ni nyele mene Asafoatse challenge no mi nyemi ege mena asana tole. And ni Adamalache they can support to me say ni atole. A couple years later ni akpako ni Adamalache egboko eke kwake manche ye don ete e afa press conference ake atawo manche e hale. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have people ni ekele ja Asafoatse me phone nupa ni neke shinle jiboni enyonshien bona no enye se aune eba fita o manjo yi ona o manjo sane ona ga yemi ni boni o manjo sane efie na efie le he is part of it eke ni ene no nu ame yenyo no two musketeers ame no je enyo two musketeers ame yenyo no o manjo sane ame yemi na me gbe na me jofue na me ama onofue ama onofue benya na am a large system me nye organize be ngba me o min Kenya authority am jofre na ama onofue am oje hu na mi ejo no ameba na mi ejo no ameba the same kutumpo the same abla the same amale the same akamusunye the same I forget the kusumi ke traditions see mon akwamo ni ba pe Chicago ni afe no ni esa ekele aje no fue ni mene look shout out to you Felix man Christy thank you my Emma of find bebo ojogba look mene Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata the name Mankata the way the name Mankata is revered the name Mankata is highly revered mene esoili na kanbe I'm telling you soil in Akangbe. Look, ke afabu ni nunjibwe. The first thing, family-wise, is to uphold your family's name. Shimene soil the name Mankata. This man, because a year anukwali, because a blanyoni, kutumpo, amale, shika. The name Mankata is soilile. But look, they are great Mankatas. Great. Magic Betten, I think I get grandson, like assemblyman, there is another Mankata, the brilliant idea, mean bulletway organization. But many is soiling I can bear. It should be beyond Quemene. I will MP Ododio. Mene, it should be beyond Quen. It should be beyond Quemene, Atole MP. Mene, Atole like MP and Quen. MP name, I mean, Banana Bocomene, Mene, about what be a family, Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata. Chamele, one Ameana, about no sumo shikafe. Somebody who could sell his own uncle for money. A check machine. He sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. Mene eba naka MP agwole nkwana eba ho Ga-Mashie'S attaching eba ho Ga-Mashie'S Beni afe na kan campaign election mi chatakpa no fio ni ala ko yin pa be na junction ni ska oko chen ye gboni mawo oko chen ye gboni mawo le no mi e papa gbo ni na afe na kan lala ha yin akọ no ko da na show oko chen ye gboni magbo this man I brought to the Ga-Mashie'S about only be fair in your Ga-Mashie'S mene because a sumo shika fi anukwali a sumo shika fe papa fe mu a sumo shika fe kusumi boni echeme bahinshi boni echeme batragan le ekometo efita eni adragan mene Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata nke efitai ni adragan hewale ke dwemo ke nile ke shika ni echeme the Mankatas the MacArthurs ni ameke ba bomi ameke ba bogan mi ni gan awogan machine gan ni gan machio jogban mene e ke shika edwa Ga-Mashie'S. You understand? Couple years down the line enale ene chekwen ewe twemi. Don't worry, we'll go to that video. Video any circulated matramabo. I'm building the case. I want you to see no mita no na money sanedi I want you to see that. We'll go to the video. Again nale. Magic be etene chekwen ba. Ete ega chekwen pe ete ewe twemi. Yayala shishi. That's him. Menye kayo video ni. Asafoatse Nseni Mankata ne ho la Judas Judas ye ne awon Yesu kaka ne ba friend okay yeah Aisha
Asafoatse ni ayi adefio ni ya ne echa ta mi fole ni ti eche esabi ejo ki kindaki adamalaje enyawo ni fo Therefore, the mentor will go. No, he Kentucky Atamala Jayo BNA. Let Kentucky Atamala Jatu. Eche, before it's a being yo. Let do.
There you go. He sold everything that he had with this man for 30 pieces of silver. After saying, "Ake ebe manche, biamine ke papa ne eshoning ekele chuning, years, days, weeks, months, eheshika." Niekele etau manche. She chekwe elele manche. She chekwe elele manche. This is the sort of man we are dealing with. Now, as if that press conference said, Nincho Abwe was not enough. Once again, because a Male, ni efe abla, ni efe kutumpo ewo, he did not just sell a chekwen at the time for 30 pieces of silver. Apparently, he sold the entire Ga-Mashie. This man sold the entire Ga-Mashie, the owner of the entire Ga-Mashie. He sold it. Look, the people in the video, they knew very well like this man was lying. Amele, very well. Amele, much amabo, no kweteche. Ne you come teche yes, teche na ke chale as I Nseni Mankata. You mo bokete you mo to. Shimene na kain. Because Emale, that was the period there me. Na ke Kelvin Taki tenungwa ni achu kusumi ale. Ni Emale ka toga manche nungwa kusumi efita eko. Ame teko chulu webiye. Teko chulu webiye. Ame. They have a connection with Nungwa. So, Keji Ojejeme, because of your connection with Nungwa, no sumo. Nia awobo butrum yejeme, that's fine. Koshe Nungwa, bemwe webi yejeme. Nya bia ni sempeake, ni sempe, and I'm telling you this on authority. Si nya bia ni sempeake. Biami, nino fe no jo. Na fe kusumi hale. Ani ete nungwa lo. Sempeme ye nungwa. Sempeme. Ame again. Nye bia ni otinto ake. Ani ete geme na abole butrum. Alo afe kusumi nko hale lo. Akuche shuate kome. Ame we kume ye nungwa. Nye bia makanika tolumo ye geme. Ame fe me kome ya. I have seen it. Me di betene na jobu. Na to jobu ulo mogbeke bibio akelete because jobu we ye geme. Banye bia ke akuche ni onane fe ni ame yenye nika to kusumi nku ame ya nungwa. Gamanche towe nungwa ya bemi. Ame teko chulubi webi ye they have a connection with nungwa. Niamugi na tole niamugi eya nungwa. Wache takikomi na tole eya nungwa. But once again, these people, for 30 pieces of silver, because I'm in Feni Fun, because I'm in Feno near Sa, e wo ne tenunwa ama tuni enpo e she ko Ga-Mashie fe ne ho Ga-Mashie fe ke anunwa. Watch the video. Watch the video. Okay, I think it's up there somewhere. How much a video man? Ovane Jani Femo Kiamoko ni leun e Kiamoko Hami Gonti noni ya anweko nya wo boale tui obana ka no na UFA male
Ukura beni ba nye challenge mu ukura beni ba we no ko fon ye ye wojiame wo lo ke wa ke leji kenklen de ba she.
That is not true. That is not true. Leji kenklen ba she nme na ja ye waso na ba. No, it is not true, and we will go into it. The idea, it is not true. We've been told, the first Babu Lomo Atole in 1725. Of course, me come ya nungomo. Dani ayato. Awo Babu Lomo kenkle keje pekikeba na batole wulomo. So I don't know a chon pocket lawe because I've been told again these are two separate people. Ni afele kome. The original pocket lawe sande you all. Allo ewe babu bulomo sande. Do you understand? Let's go into the history. Usmoni, like I said, wabaka seni. You understand? Keke babu bulomo. Je kenkle ni ebatogan. Because the first Babu Lomo atole 1725 Jamie ke nungwame dienche ke manfambi amame ke she keji you chuchu blema boketelawe. These are two separate people. Na me fele kome ke you the boketelawe. What is the word? The whistle. Share me. Is it progenitor? Is that the word? Progenitor? Uncle John. KG, the progenitor. I want to make sure that is the word. I will go there. You correct me. Is progenitor the right word? In word there no few. KG, the progenitor. I want to make sure I'm using the right word. Boketelawe. No perma excuse le few. In no podi enche jena kaini. She boy no pwe ma excuse le. No pwe. Yes, thank you. The whistle. Ke you progenitor le fine. No pwe jena kaini ngele kwa she ma excuse le fioko. She can't use the title Babu, the progenitor. Thank you, progenitor. That's the word. Thank you, progenitor. That's right. Mean chele wrongly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Progenitor. Right. So jouer the progenitor. Niji bokete la we. Le ma excuse le fio. Even though no problem je makani. She ma excuse le. She ke eke babu. Jimoni back. The first babu atole 1725. So he cannot be the shiche. He cannot be the person because nature will mo ni nye amam yewo ne ko e wala ko hamanche nakeno shiche numo lakote aduabushi lechu nakainu. Now, mind you, the arrival was in two parts. Yeah? Shiche numo lakote aduabushi e babie in the 1000s. E babiomo in the 1000s. Now, May time aja yawaso na yawaso edwa. May time na yawaso edwa. Ni ababie. Now, forget more about yawaso eponi dwa. Wakola ke ni anye gbe no ni aba menime ya wa ya waso boketela we fitai le a journey eba more ne batonunwa bo wo kole po na kan so ameni amejegna no wo kole aka ameni amejegna no le boketela we le ya waso bi e fitai me eko. Once again, let's use logic. The history has been distorted. She use more logic. No buakunta. Wakolake na ba to aye waso e. Boketela we meni me use ngano. Ni ameka bana me ba shaye waso e. Boketela we le wa aye waso. Eba hu ni eba nungwa. See, mind you, no me moni nyen sure na ke ba. Moni use na ile ke ba. Eba centuries before meni me janga no ba. No ni akonka ya waso ame tutuashi keba small Accra. No ni big Accra dra. Ame rashi keba small Accra. No me money bato small Accra eba in the 1000s so mo. So Keji, the whole Gan Kingdom was founded around the 1400s. Thereabout. Mind you, 400 years before, no me no more like a tada wish ye bomo. No keji no mo baketela we lenye meni me ke nga no ba meni me John Sean na menye nga no ke ba before ne ba sheshikpo no ake gan nyu no me shiche no mo la ka to adawishi e tage mo mo so me na you all ele ake no na you all amaleni but because e ya eshika iwo it's an distort history kone fit na kan shika na ya he mene so ake boni echeme eba dragan ake boni echeme eba dragan le edwale echeme sacrificed in money, in strength, in power, in knowledge, and in wisdom to build Ga-Mashie. This man ake edwale because he aishika Okay. Now, you again, you quite touch expression behind him. Shout out to you, class captain. You quite touch expression. You can clearly tell. I get touch it. Po Eliaga, no, this guy is full of shit. Okay. Let me come back again. What and this was the time, once again, now make a Kelvin Taki, Tenua, Nachu Kusumi Hale. Because I made Boablo, now I made Malay war. It's a net distort history. It's a net whole Ga-Mashie fair and Nunyam.
Ukukura beni ba nye challenge, ukukura beni ba we look for ye. Ye wojami wo leke wake lady kenkling de bashe. Gadan bishipono. Dandi mo femo kuwani nale. Ka wo Ga-Mashie then about wo Ga-Mashie ye wo jame wo liake ba bie ni bakasi oni 2 weeks
male ka to Ga-Mashie ya nwa na ba akase ni 2 weeks yagbelele male kona nege video ne wo no ke chafun put it in the trash. No feno no Mankata yue mie male Asafoatse Mankata male ka to Ga-Mashie ya nwa na ba akase ni 2 weeks male Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata male ka to Ga-Mashie ya nwa na ba akase ni 2 weeks nke male ni je gbabu lomo ni eje wale ne ke hamancheku male. Now we'll get into it. Now I know what channel what boile to it.
Ochi enyo Ghana kele ya afia kuswan mi de wa afia na kan be ni twanke boko ye ni ke ewale han Ga-Mashie ake gafe manche the one need le eye manche he wo
male je gbabu lomo ke ewale han Ga-Mashie ake gafe. Look, numo la koti adu awushi ewale mene ya esika numo la koti adu awushi anunyam ya esika ni ehon ke hanu wame. Male, what Gia di enchekena? I read it. Ben kande habo. Sisi Randolph told you. Male, this person, male, but because if any phone, if a sha, to e jengleno, e jakusumi, boni e cheme ba fe, jena kanji boni e fe le wo, e sani male ni e wale ni numo lakoti adu awushi yo. Ne ken agbabulom. Babulom na to le 1725. No me from the 1000 said numo lakoti adu awushi ye omo. Ni blafo me lenche documenti. We will get there. In Kane Habo, CC Rain of Oluemi. I provide Enyemi with the staff because he's the priest. Enyejepo. So Enyemi Nue Yane Yoshka on his behalf. A chair boketelawe. A chair babulomo. A bewolokomi. Akak babulomo jie wale. Neke hagamanche. That's a lie from the pit of hell. But esane male because if any phone, because if any no near sa, no we sane male. Esania male Ga-Mashie mi ne je esane wo Ga-Mashie anu nyamfe ne keya mene esania pale it's the Mankata family they are serious mene esana pale esania pale mene esani is not deserving of the throne he occupies. The position he occupies, he is not deserving of that position. It's an pale. Amale. Let's go on.
Nile eye manche nile fe osofu ni hotujiami ste gbatumi ni e preside ke hanwo ni ebi ni bi hanwo ni ejowo besa ni bokwaya ni bokwatanu ni ke moko na agbako ye me abana ya ko nyo ya
je gbabulo mo position chiche numo lakote adu awushi. He's lying.
Ulo mo hin keke no nyo na ulo mo keke Shimanchele kota ole sando ya kota sando nale ejakele di mache yena do wokaji Ga-Mashie ba bi 2 weeks ba kase oni ebe no call wa ke
Ga-Mashie eya nu 2 weeks eya kase ni male ngame teko chulu webi they have a connection with Nungwa just like sempe mwewe bi kote sempe ote Nungwa ba na ga mwewe bi sempe sempe me ame Nungwa nya bia ne do to tinto ake na to le manche ete Nungwa akase ni ega me 2 weeks do mene male no ne yue male because if any phone if no ne sai we sanie male no a whole community you think mene sana pale na folefa this guy ka blame akwa mene aba pale ka folefa. Be more careful. Sana pale na folefa. E go Ga-Mashie fe ne a ho Ga-Mashie ke anunwa this guy. Male.
be le gbobue alo shiche eye wale fe Ga-Mashie le wale Ga-Mashie ke tashin
Ga-Mashie e ke gbabu e wale tashi. Ngemini. Ga-Mashie e ke gbabu e wale tashi from the pit of hell. A very useless lie from the pit of hell. Ga-Mashie e ke gbabu e wale tashi. Ga-Mashie shiche numo la kote adu awushi leje fili yeko ne ke hale to mo bene echon aka na echon software enye foshi basa no onyemi emo nibo oye najian. You understand what I'm saying? Emale. So this guy from Ga-Mashie ni echeme ebacha Ga-Mashie ni ameno ni ameke fan Ga-Mashie here because if any phone because a bomusu a war e wo shiche numo la ko te ado awushi enunyam fe nekete ne kan agbobu. Meanwhile 1725 shiche numo la ko te ado awushi le te peki ne amo bokete lawe enabi ne ba chon lo sofo yeli. No ona amale de maleo ko fe fon neke ni ko male neke o ba male kekpa sia hu no wa me posti. And you see, the sad part is that this is going to go out there. Asia. A lot of people video. That's the sad part. But you have a whole Asafoatse claiming to be aka Asafoatse Onupa. Asafoatse Kojo Nseni. Asafoatse Kojo Nseni. No ake wa geme na ato. Asafoatse Kojo Nseni. So if it is something to go by, you see, when wrong people occupy positions, occupy your. This is what happens. This is what happens. When wrong people occupy positions, occupy your. This is what happens. This guy is a traitor. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata is a traitor. He's a traitor. The guy is a traitor. He must be distilled and banished. Let's go on. Jenu wanyo Jimmy. Shincha koning gbasanie. Again, if there is even anything to go by, you see, that is the thing. Say she should be here. Ni what choame san she be here. Say she should be here. The name actually gives it up. Amame enungwa pomo kula. Amame enungwa. And it will make sense. You know why it will make sense? Because they have that linkage with Akwamus. Ni Oliake, ni Ataki Ayawaso, 1677, I believe. Ni Ayawaso Kingdom dra. Somewhere around 1670 keba. Akwamume ameye wano kata to 1728 for almost like 40 years or so. So I can actually believe logically yake lele nungwame no mi sense she be a poye jamomo. Before manfa biye manfa alomo go ga manfra be manfutulo amejela. So manfra niji manfutulo alo manfa me ama amejela ni ameba. Before me te nungwa no mi se shishibiye ya jamomo ije nungwa I don't know. So neke walene keji kake se shishibiye po ni yo neke walene po eba make a little bit of sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? See, one man from biye ni ame ashwa meke jela ni ame shi ame won ma cause la street there bete again no mage again man from biye ame won. So te fi oto jola no ya nunwa ni biami no ba jela no ba she nunwa se shishibiye po ame eje momo ni nunwa manche le no wulo mo huni ni o da fi o wele nche le wulo mo ni odi ni odi sofo le mu. So neke walene keji Asafoatse Nseni Mankata ewe kan se shishibiye once again ije nunwa, but logically it will make sense because of say shishibiye that connection with Akwamus. Okay, Ayawaso Kingdom I believe 1677. Kaja jama unkabata 1728 Akwamume ye wono. So I can actually understand. I can say she should be amame nungwomo. I can understand. Once again with the Akwamus talk, they have this authority. I will give it. But the person, you are making him into a the first one atole 1725. The babulomo atole 1725. The very first one. I'm a wonu edenche you am a manche comedian you mata video mabu intro last week masa mata mabu eko. Now that does not mean ake bokete la we ko beje momo sinaka bokete la we no mi na yo jeme no mi eje wulo moni ni na kan bokete la we keji lelen akani meni meje ngano ni amemba leji moni e ba shegan kenklen before ni bokete la we ba shegan no mi e shiche no mo la ko ti adu awushi ye omo. Am I making sense? Let me know if I'm making sense. If my explanation is logical, let me know. Can you make sense? When come me? Can you many jangano ni ameba? Lelen ake bokete lawe. Le nyame ye ni le ba sheshikpo no kenklen. No mi e sheche no mo la ko tu adu awushi e chon sho yin e ke ba omo. Eto yomo. Once again, manfra moko baga manfra ni chwage manfutuloi alo manfa na me ba na ka mage nyanya manfa yeneke nyanya manfa amejela aka me febe la na shwa me na wa me fui na me te na ma na senshi bia ni senshi bia ke. That is the story from the senshi side. Ije nungwa. Take it with a pinch of salt. No na get nye ba nyanya manfa bie manfa bie mo go nko age manfra ni twaka me ba futu ma. She says she be a jemomo say she be I mean a man no mo. So how then mo kona kele ba 1725 no kenege wale fe hale that authority once again get separate the babulomo from the person numo lakoti ado awushi ni leji progenitor. Yes, it will make a little bit of sense. But when you try to put these two people together, it makes sense. And that is why any history, any nuwame ba, it makes sense. If you are talking about the progenitor, it will make a lot of it will make some sense. But when you try to make the progenitor into the same Babu Wulomo, it makes sense because the first one was installed in 1725. It makes sense. Logically, it makes sense. So, no fe no na. Ni Asafoatse Kojo Nseni Mankata. E you a video name here. Amale son no nke mene esana pale ni afolefa. He must be distilled and banished. He took the entire woe kanunyam ni Ga-Mashie and body all. He took it all and he sold it away. Because tomobani ehon echekwen ne ya. These are the people we are dealing with. Ni ina ya me no on the platform sano. You see, sometimes look. Opejama wu eyiwaladon. Some of us call me here. Waba tashidin waba kane. Waba kane. If it makes sense, it will make sense, and we'll be here. We'll tell you I can make sense. In a document now from Nungwa be econo account no. Ni amentani I may make a point. Whatever point they were trying to make, I don't get it. Once again, they gave it away. This document. Ni ame sumoni kefia ame fe distinction there. Ni ame kwa akeshiche numo la akote awudu awishe inshoche ni babu ulo mo leji shiche. Ya numo la akote aduje no ba okwa ganga inshochelo. Shiche numo la akote adu awishi. Nye kwa na ewe bia chacholete letterhead there ni numo akwa minsan use wo nye kwa ni okwa ke letterhead there no and numo akwa minsan engma inshochelo alo engma shiche. So they are creating something in a kind of a bear, non-existent. These guys that are messing everything up. And then you have old people. Old people. This is another document. Ni na document ne angma ni shishi numo lakote ado awishi priest of the sea. Nafele inshoche. Babu wulomo. Eganame fele shiche. Habe no go to monakai. Moniji inshoche le no ji shiche. Yes, numo la go to adabu le ji inshoche. Because na ye inshoni. Le tan shona. She le no ji shiche. Distinct in that's a lie. Amaleni. Now, come on, I'm posted. This is from them. Let's read. Dutch and British, what is it? Is it government? Okay, during the regime of the Dutch government from about the year 1642, mind you, the first Babu Wulomo was in 1725, installed in 1725. Jaminke, I will play the video for you. The first Babu Wulomo was installed in 1725. So this is 1642. This was posted by Wanyeme Nungwame Temokome accounts. Come on. During the regime of the Dutch government from about the year 1642. So from 1642 to 1725, how many years you're in between, Ame? Somebody tell me. 1642 to 1725. Once again, the progenitor Numo Bokete Lawe is different. If you try to make the same person, that is where I'm a history and I'm a tell or a bashio boy. Because it make sense. It make sense. During the regime of the Dutch government from about the year 1642, Numo Boy Tono was the king. Was the Nae Wulomo, Numo Boy Tono, high priest of the sea. So when you mean a postene, Koni Ekake, Benae Wulomo, high priest of the sea. Bona, she eliake blufome, translate Nae Wulomo can wo blufomi. So it's in parenthesis. It's in parenthesis. They are trying. Konika mo konkandi anymore. Biake namo miniji Nae Wulomo shishie. No, I'm a high priest of the sea. And the governor on behalf of a staff of authority. So come on, or the sea. And the governor on behalf of the staff of authority as a mark of recognition to Lakote Aduawushi and his brother Numo Boitono for being the first original settlers, and gave him a document which entitled him to receive $4, a piece of white cloth, a case of gin and tobacco from every ship which called at the port of Accra, and also annual land on which Fort Cravencore, Asafoatse, and he continued to receive the amount until 1868. So once again, because nature bank back no UFN no la tara wo because le echon gbumo na enye ya iwo no enyemie no na hale staff of authority akecho hale blofo make hale koni le shika on behalf of Numo Lagote Adawishi ache gbabu ulo mo ye bie ache tachelete ache bokete lawe ye bie ache le ye bie. And this was even in 1642. How many years Danny Abato, the first Babu Ulomo? Okay? KJ, I may make a case for the original Bokete Lawepo, it will make a little bit of sense. But when they try to they make this person into the same, that is when I'm sure you. It makes sense. So in 1642, before 1725, now about the first Babu Ulomo, no me shicha no malago te ara wushi ship se bato aeshika omo na ken wedding. Aeshika. In 1868, the fort was transferred to the British and named Asafoatse, and they also continued these payments as well. Great Fire of Accra in about 1895 to 1896. The document in regard to the lease of the land was among the burnt goods of the then priest. And I'm informed by the present priest that the government refused further payments as the document was the authority produced on every due date. So, lakoshan, nila shan, this is something that they posted. During the regime of the Dutch government from about the year 1642. You can tell. Numa Boy Tono was the king. Niefutu was the king. Naya Wulamo, high priest of the sea, and the governor, on behalf of a staff of authority, as a mark of recognition to Numo Lagote Aduawishi. So I chombo Numo Boy Tono, na chombo Numo Lagote Aduawishi. I chombo Amiyenyo. And his brother, Numo Boy Tono, for being the first original settlers. And gave him a document which entitled him to receive $4, a piece of white cloth, a case of gin, and tobacco from every ship which called at the port of Accra, and also annual ground rent of $5 from the government from the use of the land on which Fort Crovington stood. And he continued to receive this amount until 1868. So, Biamina Kwamume by Yebono Fair between the 1600s and the 1700s, Numolakata was still a Yeshika. Still a Yeshika. Now, you can say, okay, oh, Bene Ayosha for Tusani. A travel fair that Tonkeanua. In Kashichibwe, we be a bad documenty. And bad documenty, nka ishka sani moko ya chole boketelawe. Akeshka ya hale. Nefioneke. There is nothing. No, but I can't hear any of these books. I may be wrong. Show it to me. I'll come and read. I will come and read. So far, nothing non can yo. They make sense. So if there is another document, ne chono kwake. Blofome na me ba. Ameke moko bachuni na chomo. Numo boketelawe. Nile. Eye wojiami. Blofome documenti. Akele yo no fenu le yo to kenibi ife. Akewa moni yo to. Sisi Randolph ekewo. Documenti ne una me poste. Ile no ni mi na me frankeje. Lewu ekewo. Lewu ekewo. Ama me poste. Ene je mi posting. Ama me posti. In addition to video and in Chahabwe. Ene ama me posti. So this is not making the case. We will be logical this time around. When you prove it, we can put 2 to 2 together. You can make it sense. We'll get it. You can say she should be a say she should be a because of the Aquamun lineage. Come and claim in the authority can have me here. I want the chunk. Because from 1677, I was so dry. I think the reign actually started in 1670 to 1728 was so something like that. So because of saying she should be, I'm a connection with the Akwamu say, well, I can understand. They can make that case. They can say she should be, they can. And once again, if you want to separate the progenitor, Boketelawe, from Babu Lomo, then Manyama excuse na kind of you. She the way in your foot, it make sense. It make sense. You understand what I'm saying? It make sense. Now, for you to know who Eko Ake Ewale fe Ga-Mashie. Inse nkebo ake. Magic betene egbe eko wene nke chombo ni wanyeme nungwa meke shipon amameja ke amo femo even osupu amega amameja je amameja ingemini je amameja shipon je ke amo femo je amameja mi nke ba ke komo yi nke manfan biye alo manfra biye ake wake ameshishijela. That's what they said. I don't know. But logically, I can be now here. The way any what you mean town I make distort history. It make sense, honey. Now, come over here. If you're there. Come on, Bona. Te ni nyekashikpon ha amuku. Ni mokonklo ya yoshika. na indenture ni osuka sele ni akanya den say benye like den say ni my first na me ho kan British mancho kan kwe indenture ni ekehane so kenu wa ma shipon ye tefi otani mancho kan kwe ni le an indenture ne yoshka alo ne eshka egeshka tenunwa when you su mancho kan kwe ne eshika ne ke wolo ha den say ni sika ne ke te osu ekete nunwa ne kan ha me come on ege I kino kankwe na kanjibo na me spell it but na kona come be letter is dated 18th August 1661 come in once again way before 1725 ni ato the very first babu wulomo way before 1725 na to the very first babu wulomo once again if you are talking about the progenitor Boketelawe, it will make a little bit of sense. Man, see, when you try to make these two people into one, no, clearly you are distorting history. You are clearly distorting history. So make it make sense to me. How? You need a progenitor. Boketelawe. Lenon in 1725 now to the first Babu Wulomo. I don't get it. Maybe maybe I think I'm smart, but they call it make it make sense. Now, in terms of Shikpong, nyekwa. Ona, blafomenke, amefe no kokeke. Look, CC Randolph, a distort history. MJ Field, le wa me mole ke tanungwa, na me lakale, no le, amale son. Chimo amale, a distort history, MJ, distort babawo. She blafome amale. On a document, I'm sure I got me find a local here. You can tell it's an old document. Okweboni document yo okwebeni benia type in here po yo can it be a fan? You can tell like this is really old. Look at another old document. Come on, another old. Before mama, you are no fan. No. Once again, look at this. Come on, date 18th August 1661 treaty between King Okankwe, Great King, the King of Denmark, and the Danish African Company. I, King Okankwe, King of Great Accra, do hereby proclaim with this document, 3 copies of which identical in content have been drawn up and signed by my own hand for myself and all my successors, Ga-Mashie'S, and whosoever may head the government of Great Accra. There is a government of Great Accra headed by the King of Accra. It is not Babu Wulomo. It is not Boketelawe. Unless Nungwa be Akrami. Old mape, benke old mape e chombodan. Old mape, ona Great Accra e kome. E kona ningo e kome. So ka onani ona ningo pe, beni chwaga abote adami. So even the old map, nika chombo, early map say ni bluffo me draw. Accra, fe fita ikata nungwa fe Accra, ke toman fe Accra. Ni wana ko bage Ga-Mashie'S wale stretch all the way to that place. Like an old map, I'll look for it. Nima paste ko nyokwe. So now Great Accra, ke kona Ningo. So now the kingdom of Ningo. Beni chanko bote dang beniani. It is not Boketelawe. It is not Babu Wulomo, who is known as the king of Accra. It is the Ga-Mashie'S. Monique beten ame chole Ga-Mashie'S manche. I don't go na chole Ga-Mashie'S manche. Aye Ga-Mashie'S, the great king of Accra. Ene blofo me ma. Ye wa ma. Come year na sign 1661. I did not. I know me. I know me afago nya kwele. Kencho Bobi afago ame. ina ayo po afogole. Let's go on. I Kino Kankwe, king of Great Accra. Unless Nungwa be Great Accra me. Do hereby proclaim with this document 3 copies, of which identical in content have been drawn up and signed by my own hand for myself and all my successors, Ga-Mashie'S, and whosoever may head the government of Great Accra and serve as its leaders, whether on land or along the coast, that from this date on I do make settlement, and once more for the present and in perpetuity, I've sold Osu's lands and the cost for a sum of 50 benda in kind to the noble Mr. Just Grammar, governor at Fredericksburg in Guinea, in the name and on behalf of His Royal Majesty of Denmark and his noble chartered Danish Africa Company, with which I'm also sufficiently satisfied, subject to the following conditions: that the said Governor Grammar shall build for his king and his noble chartered Danish Africa Company stone house at Osu at the first possible opportunity. And when this becomes possible, I further undertake to grant him all possible assistance and their bones, I don't know what that is, also to help and protect the said Danish company in Osu and in all other lands, and in all other lands and coasts belonging to me by birth, against all hostile attacks and nuances. So there you have the king of Accra saying, okay, and all other lands belonging to me by birth, and all other lands belonging to me, against all hostile attacks and nuances, whether committed by the inhabitants and natives or other white nations, whosoever they might be. Thus do I hereby transfer and surrender once again free and without encumbrance to the said Kramer for his principals the right to use and employ as their property at their will and pleasure the whole area and rights in Osu in all perpetuity. And as further affirmation, I've eaten the fetish called Akwando to this effect in the presence of Ahen, son of the late Ahenakwa of Fetu, who has been sent here to this end from Futu or Fetu, and John Clancy of Fredericksburg. And in proof of this, I've signed 3 documents. So there you have it. So this is the king of Accra. Once again, the king of Ga-Mashie'S. Nale, ni a sign. You're not going to be no sume Ga-Mashie'S go uncle. What Ga-Mashie'S you can't let's sign. Let's sign. Now, to me you are Ga-Mashie'S lead administratively. Can you contrast dinko me say? Near sign between the then Ga-Mashie'S onupa ni oje ke nunwa nika ishka afia ke ba nunwa ni na ekoni wona ni wakasiani. I don't want to be out here ni mimi lakame ni chomia no ke Ga-Mashie'S ishka elu afen ke ba nunwa to mo boni Nseni Kojo Nseni Mankata yue ke na kan ni ke wolu aba Nseni Mankata ke ka ishka because enye ya wo ke ka ke ba agbabubulo mo le yue. That is why I'm doing this. Kojo Nseni Mankata video ni poster no woni mi fe ne ni chwange no ni Kojo Nseni Mankata you enye here wo mi. So keji lele keji Ga-Mashie'S mancho kankwe shikane ne ye dem mank bi e de ni e woloko ye se ni chwange ke he e ka ba ha anye ke Ga-Mashie'S shika e ka ba ha anye ni fa ni nya ni walia ko ni wakanya ake lele ke Ga-Mashie'S because le administrative leader to mo boni ni call Ga-Mashie'S did administrative leader no wo keji e he shika e ke ba nunwa ni fa ni ji ablema wo jie ko ye no ni MJ field bagna MJ field enye malele chon ye no ni CC rend of ma CC rend of ele ye ke biased because e Ga-Mashie'S forget him me ye wu awolo no eko keba no ni bluffo me le nchegma ni wakania ni wakwa ke oh lele because they documented every freaking thing. They documented every freaking thing. They did. Bring it out. Let's read it so that we will stop shouting. I don't want to be loud and wrong. I hate it. So Wacheme nu wame ama wo loko kaje 1660 ni chwanke asoma wo loko ye ni gamanche echon akeke eshika afen tomoboni Kojo Nseni Mankata gaming ke Kojo Nseni Mankata ke ni nyenye posti ni chwanke is making a case for you, so that is why I'm challenging ake ke lele wo loko ye na ke iji alepo ni wakwa. Just show it. Let me play you the last video. Ni a trombo time ni atobokete numo babue the kenkleno kono kakake ni take gaming ke in trouble last week or 2 weeks ago. Let me play it for you again, and then in presentation eba na be. Yeah, me 1 second. Me chill again. Yeah.
Put him there to take care of this area. And you have been studying stupid that you want to see that babu.
Ga-Mashie'S can be bought a bet, Shmo, alone be.
Yeah, when you get Ga-Mashie'S can be bought a best pongo yeko. When you let Bolly. When you touch it. Techa you are time again. I can know Benyeli again. Echano.
To a bien any question, no can have Babu more, Kenuama, Manchefe. We were Owanyona, Klago Manche, Wako Tosh, where I can let call Spono on our instead. Odumission, let call Spono on our instead. Owanyona, Lehu, Akeshu to his Sponku. She lehu in your fee without Romo, Ke Mancheke, Majacha, Menu Onua.
Bien, a man, I'm a henny, I'm a scabut. I'm a bit of a
Oh, Bianele Tobeni, what you can shishinji. No more banana who does it what you. Babu Romo, Ake custodian, take a directive on it. Or Bumoko, yes, and a quay. Wayomana, Babu Roma, Lubayona Kago Manche, Kuni Aquesaneke, Yalonu Wamach. No pork, Wafita, a pet jacket. I mean, what about him, you on the park over. Cheme one or mob of you, Jane of Alem of any bata. B cannot be who you say. Nina be a who am a be bashe. Medeke Ga-Mashie'S can be bought a bet, Shmo Yako, alone be bote yesu alo mene moko beshko ye ko inawa wo ba pa chema fai konishko amehie ko ke na bi ke bi ni yo se hu ke bi ni ba chije kan anashko ni shko kan shno pe ba sana lo fe keke ake fe gbe
Blago, ya ga nwa me wo fo je me ya.
Ne fa nye bo atwe.
Wana keshi mo tire wana nwa be tun je. Bo so di me ni oje ni eno de de ṣùgbọ́n ní ọjọ́ náà tọ́jú ẹ̀kọ́ àmì lẹ́nu náà tọ́jú ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe wàá gba ọmọ history few about Klago ní òfin ọ̀kàṣẹ́ mi kọ́ńtà ní ìsìtàn wọ́n ní wọ́n lé ní kábíyèsí sẹ́nẹ́kẹ́ nínú àtọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ jẹ́ta nínú àtọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ Klago òun ẹ̀ ní di bọ̀kútẹ́ tó gbé the first Babylon ní Batano that was 1725.
The first Babylon ní Batano, the first like that was 1725. So once again, if you want to make the case, if you want to separate Numo Bokete-Lawe, the progenitor, from Babylon, then, but when you try to make these two people fear me, your case say, hold the water, a more 1725. In kind of documents, Baba way before 1725. So a more. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to come again, do that separation. History or jogbang, history or jogbang. Then again, you can say, I need to take obedromoy. When I go lenish, when I go lu. Bebokete-Lawe, be na biji mona wolekeba. So can you work noni benaka noni? I and my father are one. Hello, again. But no way blamom yojugba keke o situate ni bi ojugba o dates ko ni bi efe ko fail ojugba. See, in the absence of that tete in lugo, you understand what I'm saying? In lugo, so but then femo na kai no ojugba ni me anake o neke jiboni o fail. She get the day I and my father are one. It makes sense. I cannot put it together. It makes no sense. 1725 na keleje pekike ba Jamie ke woche leke na mo amole ke pekike ba. It is documented. MJ Field there allo CC rain of ake shiche numo la kotu ado awushi le amole ke pekike ba no we ameje he wande shiche numo la no mi a chele shiche omo daniete ne amole ke pekike ba Jamie ke amameke ko ba sumo ni owie text mo high
Lewu anybody encourage achoje me tebi bia.
Jamie ke ama se ko ma twale bibio ko ni nye botui
na o mobo fiu je na ba le mo fe ni ba ta bi ke na bi hu yese ni na bi e hu amo ame bi ba she ni mede ke domo shine ke mbi bote ebe shpon ye ko alo mbi bote yesu alo mene mo ko be shpon ye ko ina wa wo ba pa chema fai ko ni shpon ame she ko ke na bi ke bi ni yo se hu ke bi ni ba si je kan na shpon ni shpon kan shino pe ba sana lo fe ke ake fe gbe
Twago ya ga nwa me wo fo je me. Wana keshi ngotire wana nwa me tun eje. But so di me ni oje ni eno de de shipo ni oje na toje klado. Amele no na toje klado. Shi wa ba wa is to fear about klado. Ni ofo o ka se ni kon ka ni tan mo ko ni wole ni ka bi sana ke atoy ku jata na atoy ku klado. Onungo energy bokuto gbema. The first babulum ni batano that was 1725 ni akeleje pekike ba lewu anybody encourage atoje me tebi bia no ji ko hutakumo ba I talk to take a room where no mo le pere.
so the first babulo mo 1725 akeleje pekike ba shiche numo la kote ado awushi le keleje pekike ba le enyemie I'm sure ake ameye se na mabia ke aw wo bi mi ni fio ne cheme jewo wenye me small na me ba gba no kwale na me ba ambani me anake shishinu mo poten ko yenye ten anu kwale poten ko yenye ten jewo ona boni ni eyo so cheme won panye fai nyeke kiawo woyin kan no won panye fai cheme nyeke kiawo o ba sumo ni boli o you text mo high ni o ba pa no akuje bote mommy
Yo ni de te minga mufia
wa ile bono
panele fe ne ino le kuku coupe Asafoatse Mankata ile isa ko ba yu po en lo bia ne yani aka awu ku kemba nani onyanyu ni asamba e ba ma ke afi preparation for mo bi be kene no won minga nyami ni asaba wo no na abawo ke ba ga fe Asafoatse ba wu alo no Asafoatse konkro
gan fan Asafoatse awo gan fan Asafoatse onupa
na kan wo be ntwa ke be mo na abawo ke ba ka kele ba pe Asafoatse Mankata sari apasashe
ama me ga ma me yo Mankata ba me ke gan Asafoatse onupa ama me yo so no we enyo be no we ke wa ke ba chocholoji ni bi e fe ba fe enyo no chocholoji
wo be aho takemba ona tano aho ke ba be wo le wo ba campaign mo na ba aho ke ba bia ne
that's right
ila ke tuna ke twatete aka twatete
exactly inga bo pagbe
wo ni tete TV ke wo fe wa support mo na ke ba ko na me feel no boni what I don't like to feel or
that's right
na ka pepe wa feel onwa bi ani ameyu ake no mo la kota do adwa o share insure page ni ne ani mi ake nwa ko mi yo alo insure yo
Obi Sunday.
because kake insure che nwa me sha ke nwa e kuma se gbe ye ko yi
Dabi.
yo sana ba je wona ake nwa ngbe yo e ye insure ya lo ye ko yi wọ́n kẹ́ àmì Japan mi wí nà ká yẹ inú wọn yẹ nsọ yẹ but automatically bá ẹmí pọ̀ mi kẹ́ gàmí pọ̀ kẹ́ lẹ́lẹ́ nọ́ọ̀chẹ̀kù ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn mu.
That's right. That's right.
Nọ́ọ̀chẹ̀kù ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn mu ẹ̀ kàmí fi lè clear. Of course inú wọn làkòtí àdúrà ó ṣe yẹ nsọ yẹ jí yẹ ní àbànàlẹ̀ yẹ nsọ yẹ etú yẹ ní yẹ wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n fẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n oníyọ̀ nsọ yẹ. Eye enormi. Shipon ni yo so eye enormi. No akote kuma se gbe ni bi enough gbe ameye la ko ta do shike ama me ya me no mi. Wo be san nu wa me ko ake ame shipon ye kuma se gba lo ye enough gbe ama ke wo.
That's right.
Onu me se. Ni agbene nwe ka ameke ameje no che. Ni before me bana ke sanfre pompo ba insoche mino amana babu na me yuo mino amana babu alo na ka sanfre pompo ake brokete lawe because brokete lawe je le ju ro mo se warrior.
That's right.
Warrior ni. Wọ́n ní warrior ni wúrọ̀ mọ́ ọ̀kẹ́ níbẹ̀ fẹ́ ní mú làkútà dó sí jíbo ní ètè ní establish nìkan níbi ìnẹ̀fẹ̀ gọ́lẹ́jì ṣìṣẹ́. Wọ́n ká mi kẹ́ nsọ́ ìpẹ́ ni ẹ̀ nù wá ẹyẹ nsọ́ yìí nù wá spọ́n fẹ́ fìtà nsọ́ spọ́n yìí. Unless àmàkàmà kẹ́ sí ikú àmì pẹ̀tẹ̀ kó má ṣe gbẹ̀ nọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ àmàkẹ́ wọ̀ nù sí. Numu ngasa wa bia we do
ishe wache ni na ti atule agbo e ba fita wo yi nyani wo here a contribution wo cha no wache o fa na gbele mo ye ni won wo yi
when a premier coffee program
oh naga
ama bioshi
oh iliaga go wotwe no basmo no
oh mi tabo ake o chale mimba next in mimba ma fa tax secretary bi o mi tama ake maybe
naga ona
maybe tax mi to electronic mi to agbe ona mi to wa so mo program so na ke chale inake chenli analysis kubende fine wa na ka British Irish ranger ni oje Papa Rowe. In fact Papa Rowe when you want to now if a very beautiful analysis ona analysis there kubeke won fi ke woje to ke emotions mi fine wa ona yemo fe ni yu shini ni ona ke pokete laweke lakote adwa ushishinle there is some mystery ko yehi ni ameyenyo amepabeli in fact ni seneni agbewo jinkume nita flache bulome pokete laweke lakote adwa ushina me isien ito akeke amenani Ga-Mashie'S no amengo ame ya kamele akameji the owners.
That's right.
Olenuku lakote adwa usien je gboni ni keke ni sie chichi ne ke le fega mo fia mo kele ba pe yesipon ta flache ulomo ni boni nyami nu ewie cho ake inshona hepe anu pale ikashi ona boni to le achole noche. No di noche. Ni ayesi chele una boni John. Ni si chele di bokiti. So na ke ni ekume bejame na me vi. Alo ameli no poteni yo ameti.
That's right.
Si nekeni bi ne me feel like a base and is an ake for she or fair water. It's a can maleka ke na bebile no le bada.
That's right.
The west side no fear no fear. We mini jada kete monokuye agno ha be na melio. It's a we mini knowledge na knowledge doesn't it does not become crude anymore. Una dilute. It will nipi ni ba knowledge afi concentrated there. Eko yi research ni na nibi kume demo nibi kume na ke knowledge ko knowledge is solidify ko.
Right.
No me di no what wo bia ne. Una bo actually any me go to akwa pe me ko akesi na ye ho obere me bi ni nam wo inkrampo ano. Akwa pe me ko ya me kwa pe history. Me je te tinko krom la te befe la kote adwa wo se gbe yen. Ona wo ni jo. Na me kwa ke ho obere pa bi ni nam inkrampo ano na oye won di ma bebre. Na ye fe no la kote. Ona wo ni jo. Ya kwa pe history. Woda na nkwa keke wole wo history isake wo nyemi me majini bolo many bada no wo ba wo bia market taflache te wo balete na ma ba ameke we pili wo kashile ekafa see any your problem with inyemi no Irish Ranger British Ranger net yake analysis any if ite chake bokiti lawe warrior. Lele warrior ni si bulo mo so for warrior. Ni tashi training ni na in your Adventist theology. Na body John in the Adventist theology. Then in your charismatic Pentecostal theology. Then I've been integuzanga. What is spoken? I think Jesus. The Jesus there Jesus said to me, "Usofwe na train no ame ya war." Tomo reaching the lion heart crusaders. Ona bonito this usofwe Catholic priest na train no na ame ya war. Ona bonini yo ewo tabulo dile luchi usofwe amle tabulo ni.
And this is documented history. New about what kind of yeah. Hello, this is something ni like I said, cheme
what civilization eje mani bi amli bona fi ole ha.
Right.
Onake in compare me happen. Ona bonito. Ake no take je usofoni.
Right.
Usofo shile yata.
Over and
Ona. Eni osipon. E water flat wulo money. Na agbene hu ta Asafoatse ni. Ona boni yo ewo no you can compare to akesi. Woje waka akesi de bokiti lawe. Ta flat ta wulo ni keke yata. Game bote ni game wake manche yili ba. Wulo mo yili wake ba. Ni akan me ko wake wulo me ni nye wo hin ke ba. Una bonito. Ewo na analysis nta ma establish ake ta flat je to ma Asafoatse keke. Le ni to ma Asafoatse Mankata ma lonuku. Si wulo mo ta wulo so ta wulo. No take unake Jesus said me even vertical. I a Catholic priest. Me the work with the secret service. What about it, John? Vertical. Well, like a vertical, it's a whole in a state on its own. I can't priest. Need to work with a secret service. Can it be? Look, may I walk? Field. Now information. Can it be? Oh, Jay. But in brother, you that kind of. See, you get no fatai. Usofu. Usofu she tafulon.
That's right. Is it?
Good. See, I'm a thing. It's like a warfare because their relationship can be defined by themselves.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm a fan that system, that royal priesthood system is consecrated to religion. Is mysterious and divine and sacred and serious and everything. That's right. Sorry.
That's good. You bring a very good perspective. So stay on the line. Kashi was just yet. Manya nako cheku. Babulamo warrior. At the same time, Osofoni. What used to mean instead of Babulamo? What used to bokete lawe? What you need like actually wake same person. Warrior money name show Osofoni. Is that the case?
Really? Imbo when you mean you. My mama prison. But I really want to understand Henny. In when you mean we are warrior priest to honey.
That's right.
But never Henny a can he was both
what
because
okay, a channel.
The embodiment of the nobody is going to tell you who you are if you don't know who you are. Past after that one, I don't buy it. But only before it is a problem.
Right.
Most of them are Lala you only at the same time.
Okay, and answer go channel. Yeah. Watch it Nina to find a belemo yagbene and no noise your name if you belemo you find bonu when you a question.
I think right now if we are introducing divergence view into let's come to modern history. And we can only create modern history, or create history. The literal knowledge. Okay, how do you define Bobu? Papa Roka Akesi Aguloni, Unabointo warrior. Okay. See, warrior say.
I want to understand before I come in.
Manche warrior to woni tintaki to tache committee warrior tache takita yuatita warrior ona woni njo wonwe osofo ni jiwulo we can't say okay he does not play that dual role because what mean kebufen wole ake wulo.
No,
warrior, body Papa Rook, what does it?
Okay, but it's two different things.
That will break.
You find out now 1 second.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Say what and what we use na can clause say as biane, then man I can biane because of need no cohere a dream twin faces. She came, we are talking about Bokete Lawe. We are not talking about Bobu because we are making come on, we are talking about Bokete Lawe. I don't know where it is written, where it is said Wake Bokete Lawe was Osoku. Jane say Inyemi Ablo. I wish I could in this conversation Ablo was alive because I had the same banter with Ablo some time ago, and he admitted, okay, yeah, I'm a paying Mokomo Sofo, the Mokome Kayalo, the BBH was younger, was Kakalo, yeah, Kayalo, the money Faniji, Mumu was Usofo. So I don't know how come Mokomita Flache, one Tashik and one he has admitted to something like this. Say, I will hear you say, so me, I know Akebokekelawe was one of the most mysterious warriors. That was who he was. I mean, the Nungwa history is the mystical on its own. It has different versions. If I'm not going to be the one to speak their history for them, but what I know for a fact is that Boketelawe was a warrior and a mysterious one at that. Represent on you can clearly tell and see this was Mukuni Adaika clock and I can be sure. So I don't know where the Osofo is coming from. I know after Osofo was put into it. I'm a tap into it. Between Kokena and Aba. Oh no, that is the reason why every time I say, okay, if we are analyzing ourselves, then there is something we are even missing in the whole of our history. Okay, who is Ayukushi? Who is Bokete now?
Yes.
These are two. We're drawing the confusion here, but these people led the men, but we should take show now.
Man, your break echo. Yeah, only 1 second. Ni reconnect. Man, say break echo. Nliagamoko nchale. Right. So yeah.
I can break in and okay. It is not that written and known anywhere. Monique Bokete, the Bokete he was not meaning. I mean, when you make analogy, I train Moko to be a war Osofo to be a warrior. You are talking about two different things. We have a warrior who is a militant in the military. Now, spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare, Bomo cannot be military personnel. There are still two different selves. It was kind of Osofo Yeli many your enemy Osofo Yeli training bafe comparison. Of course, again we are lost. But how come ni Nungwame sing the praise of Bokete on how a conquer me Heshikunji ni they claim portions all belong to them? That was because of who he was. That was because of who he was. When you come to the other side of the priesthood, he cannot. He has nothing. Even though he cannot because he didn't have that kind raw mineni abaya. How can Moko Nita Flash in our priesthood then when we are a priesthood then amen we claim that person was a warrior.
At the same time, yes. At the same time, also yeah.
That is different. I recognize the fact that we want to give people accolades and give and reference people's positions. But when we begin to do more than necessary, there were people living there.
Yep.
How come those people move? Because they came with a strong leader who, I mean, for lack of better words, it doesn't take bullshit. He conquers cash. What he wants, he takes.
Yes.
Exactly. Akemanche war back in comparison. Again, remember Akemanche like what you mean when we Ga-Mashie'S ba. But one thing for sure, most of the people that became Manchene were warriors that went to war and then out of conquest, giving to them another Manche because I mean here Ketita, I mean defeat, I mean that like make a come money. It was also a different from an actual those are different things. What can Manche even though Nigga Manche is served as ruler, he's unable to perform that. He doesn't perform that until certain time.
That's right.
Because that is not his role. That is just not only a stepping for somebody. Many times before probably you have the privilege to step in there. Because that is not Manche is staying in blood. I maybe they don't do and they don't see. Many work at a flash, fanciness, modernization can be committed away with Sujami or take any be fair holiday. But if we are going to go back to the day, there are that things which do not do, we may do. How do you blend one person in two bodies?
That's right.
How does he play?
Yeah,
that alone should tell us that
that's right. I will be I will be Manche Ninate Acholagbo. The Naebulomo I mean the high priest in Allah. So how can a high priest in Allah at the same time Leno if you're a warrior?
Namo Teuton Bobu Teuton Bokete Lawe. The Lakuti Adwa Usi.
Dabi Mincho okay, one tau distinction because you said ake Bokete Lawe. No, we are talking about Bokete Lawe. Okay, legit Bobu. So the question is Manyana Koko put up Jake. How can that be? How can the person ni high priest ni Sani na Allah? How can this person at the same time be a warrior? These are two separate people. For purposes known to many because the high priest they na Allah. So how can a high priest they na Allah? If you're a warrior.
Yes. You know high priest in Allah. The high priest na Allah. Taflache. Where we go back to the Hebrew Cushites. Ni wole boni pioni ashanfoli teni bi ne. High priest na Allah. Wo nye woka ke high priest in Allah. Chi nye di ake.
Dabi high priest na Allah ni tumobeno chon je kusum what ka warrior jibo no teta je kusum in la na.
Yes,
so anyone distinct right?
Yeah, it won't call work. Okay, high priest. Let me explain me about high priest now.
Right.
Okay, the why or high priest in Allah. She no Jason care work. I yet see che. The noni you won't bokiti lawe at all si che. The can't she find si che. Ni I not it. Ni note eji lakuti adwa usi. Ni wana wale keje boketi lawe ke lakuti adwa usi fien kwa ke ameke muku ijani mfi amepe amejani. Ni mufia mo ye a role ni player. Ni role ni player wajenje one defined role. Okay, these are priest warrior and priest sacramental. Ni taflaje enya aklo. It tells you ake mukumie ahale hiwale they can protect priest ni yame nyemomling. Una bonini it could happen. Now ke one fee analysis kume waka ye tomo ya ole history poe. There are outward evidence and then you can relate to. Ni ehani if you're real. See, when you are to money taflache it crack on me because Obana can be more me can work what kind of too deep into history. It like a deep into any what check back and no from Medinites and new at Kejaba. We see people not all when Shona big and we what royal and in a wool of man and if you more.
But one town one like be me poten ni war ni wale wo history do I mean where say anywhere again.
No quack talk about it. Then we going far. We want a modern history about only see modern history again. Want to relate only to the modern history. We don't want to go beyond that. And it's not helping. No need to yake keji onusisi ninu na to na lete akakesi mokoke warrior ni me warrior ni and Asafoatse kekedi dabi usofuni. So you have defined it. Well, we shouldn't bring in things that will confuse ourselves. Careful that arithmetic feel very difficult. Small na kindly arithmetic once yale straight can only in na keboneji can compare the background on the yo which time can it be fair. Jethro called study biblical background about Jethro in this ceremony fair noni Moses Levi be Moses ite yakase ye mo fair no di bonu wo lo me yale. Ni Jethro insurance money. What I'm going to definition there in he referred to a blow. Nekeni nenka blow fi neka analysis there. That is how can we establish the fact that Mukumye Kafache priest dedicated to sacramental. Ni dane enoji etu mumomi nutumo Mukumye long priest si ya Kafache ta. Iwo manake ke lakote adua which ke bokete la webe nuwa lakote adua which no ya ko ese ni kaji lakote adua which be Ga-Mashie'S bokete la weba eba ko ese we salu na ke amepe ni they relate to themselves. So we are going deep into who they are and what they are. There are mysteries around that. What fit mo ulete ni ehin. What definition ele wo ha omo ake tawulo ke wulo mo. Beja wo ka ke je wulo mo.
And the reason you want
before the public. So let me hear and how many instances apart from the fact time which other instance can you give me? Me what to say I will share for expression the instance that I would like to know that. I don't know.
There was a time ni lakote adwa ushi ti yakwe bokiti lawese ni isimi ake only outside
apart from the fact saying they are quite then what all yaka protected our pay ni we are quite say actually nothing they can say how many another instance that we tell us one year you so pretty so how many instance to protect our but wow they can down the way by the so
Don't run me into unnecessary. Not. that run me into unnecessary hazard.
How is that an hazard? Because we're trying to understand, make sense of what you're saying.
Listen.
That's right.
I don't want to create unnecessary intellectual hazard.
Okay.
Okay. Tell you, apart from Bimini Lakute Adwa another instance, if you're saying I can understand there was a time near 30 years. What I know, then you are okay, you're abstract. And that is not how we do,
let me put the question this way. Let me put the question this way. Let me ask you this way. Okay, boketilawe. Lenoni priest ni. Waliake numo lagati adu awishi eta na boketilawe no mini na eta. Yes. Yes. Because you are saying Naga Boketela at that time was also a priest. So no me Waliake Lakotia that we share na Boketela we meaning eta.
There is a fallacy. Recently in Nimukude line no. Aketa flat Lakote Adwa Ushi ni iti akwe Boketela we say for 30 years dani yawo ake Boketela we bikuje
nungwa me de nchani ke je wo ke bi
no ngbeku amadina
right
dani le eba fele wulomo iwo janji ni wulomo yelije Boketela we wulomo yelije it's not true.
So nungwame lenchali ame history. So nungwame denchali ame history.
Ameka meli aye wulomo Boketela we ye wulomo.
Eke na kind. Eke the first.
No abio ba gashi nindete ofane. No abio ba gashi Boketela we mini na eta. Kelele na ye wulomo mini na eta.
Money na eta. No la kote ado awusi fakete nungwani yatana.
No jimini.
Miji no jimine je no retire je olulu e mini di egbe no no to na keta na mini di egbe
ndete gumo ofa na wa e shiba mi atola agbo e ba be e ba create confusion e jogbe fio mi ta bi la gashi nungwa menya bi ole e mi wale tun wa me nungwa da bi ndete fa da dabi
eh bo nachi
no, because no sure no feel general if you take sure in cry
what you not atolagbo I think I can go answer the questions then square we're trying to make sense of what you are putting out there.
I keep telling you, you can be good in you are not there. We are trying to spend anything for your own. That's also the rule because we get except you're really like a power platform for me to make a statement.
That's right.
It's about the right. It's a big I can show you because I get there are instances when we are telling me I can go and do moving us I can know more. So it's not supposed to be doing we are talking about intellectual hazard. Intellectual hazard of people who are telling what another day.
Intellectual hazard. One at a time, please. One at a time.
And you want me to
Nina hold on one at a time.
I'm only trying to prove to you by your own way, okay, what you are saying is not true. Because you can tell me from everyone can watch it. Everything you can make are all foreign, and you are not your time. We don't have our original versions. All we have our original version. So you should be able to mention, I can certainly need to put it away your I know it should be there now. They can now. You may not even show now. I want you to also define shit. Can watch it. I want to understand what you watch it. When you watch it, can you make shit? Because I can shit. She can't say, oh no. I want to understand that now. But I want to be confused. So I know it's going to be how sounds good. We all know. Okay. The only time that she went to was when Professor Janet. Because once and you stay there not because you wanted to, and you stay there because I can never say, and you say, no, I'm a fair, I'm a pure, you would have said good. Check the machine. There is no instance which will get a hundred exam and run and laugh with that by ship of
that's right.
Okay, no time second one.
That's right. Answer. So once again, back to Manyofane Mutimoi. What you need at Acholago. Keji Bokete Lawe. Yo sofo omo. Nije numo lakato adu awushite. Ni amo na bile ekeba, because that's what they told us. No amele ncheke wo intro video question and
that is the truth. So that is the truth. So they are more like a bar. They are more like a bar. Mini keneba neba fi.
And eba cholo sofo. So one bibo ni wale akane je peki eba eklelenche eke womba. That is the history. Akane eba eke womba.
That's what you know.
Okay, so what? So that goes to the question.
You know.
So that goes to the question. Keji oliake. So once again, okay, question eba. That goes to the question. It will be eliake. Keji yo software.
What you know.
So maybe
money bo
so Kejema,
what is it?
So that so Kejema wonko ye jamu omo ni aja omo ni bokete la we tana dani amo na bi ekeba na ba train le na Kejema won ta cholete.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. That's a straightforward answer. So that's
notice.
Yeah.
You cannot impose your sentiment on me.
Oh, Dabi, you can't. So we are trying to make sense of so we can ask you questions.
You are not making sense.
We are trying to make sense of it.
You are creating unnecessary argument.
How is it unnecessary? How is it not unnecessary? I'm trying to understand it. That's why I didn't be able to say Okay. So okay, so what you need so what you need actually so what you need actually we probably have hundreds of people watching us. Benije back actually 1 hour over 500 people equal. Can me misconcept now where they know you saw noni bo bla me ni no shishi for at least the 500 people ni by daybreak I make quite a video ne ani amenu shishi. That is the question. Make them understand.
Boti. Noni minlie.
Okay.
Kejibu oliake sita flache. Ajeheko na keba. Ni ekolebe mi na ba gbobuko. debt ku be na atole gbogbo but le no ni yo de dani la ko ti adu say ya 35 years ye ni pe ye nu wa ke kwese ni be ni ba ise efi basa ni ta flat e keji no ni yo nu wa eje no ko ni ehia le e ya tangent for that long ona bonito
right
she mean ke wa ke no ni bi le no wo ke bo le can be questions
so can o se ni ba bi da bi benwele wo ka say ni benwele wo ka say ni chology bo no ni chology bo e ke mi bi bo sani e o ga bi go question e no ele be wo ka say ni mo
ke o ba bi mi question ni ko ba bi mi question ni ka bi mi question ni bo ke mi bi bo na kan question no be answer.
That is me what you need here ya je me kula ba ko te je me na wo presume ma ke show
me no ni ile ni ya ke aye pulo na aye okete lawo
so te ba le te
lawo ni ke no ni ile no e wo ke mo ko ka ke sita flat no mi warrior ni nye shikmoje ko te aneho acho aye tobe anyingba ke tobe chifu itobe anyigba loji tobe gbobu ni chifu en loji inso nayi kote aneho na ke enyope na kanyi ewo keji ni chon no ni milie oni o ke bo le no ko no to no ke ba
so ke nu wa me ke the first babu wulomo atole 1725 the first amameke the first babu wulomo atole 1725 ameka ke leje pekikeba na ba train le ni ba chon babu wulomo 1725 no wo o to ke wa keshi te fi ote ni proud to bokete la we me ne ba fin ni amefe acha ame babu wulomo until 1725 na ke leje the first one mo na atole 1725 leje the first one.
Yes, it will be no one to akeshi before 17 whatever. There was no ulomo.
There was no, yeah, that's what they said. Yes.
It will be no me be la ko te adu awusi ulomo. It will be men to ake be la ko te adu awusi fi bokete la we ulomo je na kan.
Yes.
Je na kan meta abeton.
Yes.
Yes. So they can explain more.
Okay.
To that. She mean boni lile, only she boni lile. That kind. I don't want to go beyond that.
No, Leah. That's fine. And that's fair. That's fair.
That is not fair.
Question.
You can't explain something and not have facts to back it up.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean? I don't have.
No, better gonna go proof. Come on.
What do you mean?
These are the people. Now I'm a driver.
Only share analysis and work your again. Dabi ya internet no ya typing there no ba na no fiano
Nina Tatole, Dabi, Dabi. Yeah, Akuje. Akuje.
Amale lo shono.
Okay. All right, so Cheme, nyevenye ji akpano in the call so Kenya you anunye. So nyevenye exita. Let's take a little musical interlude. Ni work was over. So that's right. Over the Johnny Femo, Kiamoko, no Kiamoko. Echo, ya be a bag and need the TV. Hami continue ni angwe konu. Johnny Femo, Kiamoko, ni lewe Kiamoko. That's right. Haba. Cheme, I need you to exit that other call. Ming Panyafai, nye hanga app, no start another one. Ming Panyafai, oh no. Nye hanga app. Before I get HO, yes, okay. All right, great. Nyani ma charge. Okay, so. Miss Money Nyefenye hang up. Nyefenye hanga app. Yes. Papa Ro, ofane hangimo app. Onu. Papa Ro, hangimo app. I start another one. Ofane hangimo app. Okaleche, hangimo app. Onu. From that other call. Now we'll start another one. Akuche over the hangima app onu min twalala e bi so no nye you e je fe inu ye bi so nye hanga app min gba ye fai akuche ina ko ye jemolo manye na akoko acheku ina ga bonwo ye jemolo ni na ta chole ye nye fai nye hanga app nye ami min gba ye fai I can see that you guys are still on that particular line. Ofine, Nyehanga app, Nyehami. Paparo, Paparo, fine, hang him up, I am your Nina go, Jamolo, Mita, ma connectable on another line. All right, so okay, so let's see. Been trying my create. Let's see if we can get on another. All right, let's try it again. All right, yeah. So oh my goodness. Anyways, it's Friday Vice. You already know. It's fireworks. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now we go. What you need to nyani washiale for now because etuyeba cho abo nyeke jamonele ya unto anyways okay in my talk can you let me see okay I talk can le wesa a ringolo let's see we go ba di manye na kokwa cheku ni washi ni na actually for now cuz etua ido akuche okay ogbelo anyone we
Ni that Rastama throw and store. Bombu ko meni ma forget machine ya just an. Wo cheni na actually be wo fe wole boni esuke ban yo. Ni noni ni yo ra ba che yo beji amale ni. Onu mi se je amale ni. Noni be fi of e defense. Onu mi se because una ke ni ewie fe ike wie mo ya ma point ko ni ewie ake beke na kan na kata me aye wuro mo ye nwa wo ke aye wuro mo nwa wo na kata me bokete la we te ba different bokete la we te ani wuro mo ni alo warrior so na ka pose mi to ma bile ake lenche ewie ake na kata me aye wuro mo ye nwa.
Once again, Akuche, let me play you the video from Nungwama Diancheme Ekome ni Ewiake. The first Babu Lomona Toe was in 1725. That is why we are asking the question. 1725. Once again, and like I kept saying throughout the whole video, this is where they hit into a wall. If you try to make Boketelawe the same as Babu Lomo, these questions will come up because time more. Yeah.
Need that numo adura wushi eya numwa ake eya kwe wulomo kuse enyemi se ya kwe.
That's right.
Woto tomoni ni na actually ye ake nakata me abe wulomo na chole bokete lawe e wona kata bokete lawe te ba chele te ani warrior ni warriors ani
yes
na ani te ba chele te ni agbena nwe bia na shi ni wodomo te ake numo la ko te ado shi bre ma picture petition ni ake bokete lawe picture petition amete na mo ba na warrior pictures na make pete mi ni bia e kote na ewe ejeme kote otote nwa ejeme bokete lawe no ke na ewe no ka kecha na mo ndi mo no wa chele warrior na mo ni mo no wa chele ulomo
yeah clearly mokomi the way now me present all well once again Benjamin, you and I were not there, Dr. Baumia Bakwe, but when you put the picture up you are seeing a warrior, you are not seeing someone who was a priest. Clearly.
Exactly. Exactly. No ni na actually be you e be wo loko mi akeshi ake bokete lawe e ye wuro mo nani le no ye warrior
until 1725 now me can I am na bile keba. Yes.
But na ke babu ba.
Yes.
Na ke babu ba.
Yes.
Nani wulo mo ne you me say wo bokete lawe he was a warrior.
That's right.
A lead man. A lead man. Numo adwa wushie eya nunwa ke ashi
won machine right na town
onumshi yani no na eyo opeji nai no wole ni na ye e cover fe gato nunwa fe onumshi la jishi che.
That's right.
Ni na ye je nyoni e ko mepani
nakai eshe yani abache bo yue mo danani okay
because ka ye na kana be sanu ko ni epidemic one ake e ata another na ye jeme
nah that's right
agbeje nti mama ka ke so lele e bokete lawe lele e ye ru omo because ten na ye jeme sanu mo kwatu
because the principal deities ni your gafen wole all these principal deities alo jema wajin we know them we wole kole wole sakumo wole nai wole and then bi wole amefen so keji the first babu wolomo was 1725 then before 1725 no me more mini Jema one neta, and that is a legitimate question to ask. I don't think this is trying to create an intellectual hazard. I don't. It's a legitimate question to ask. If the people from Nungwa are saying, okay, 1720,
only negbe fitai.
That's right. I get trouble. That's right.
Sakuma romo. Na romo. Neke down to romo.
Yes. Yes. That it is it's a legitimate question. It won't be. So I don't know. Anyways, Akuche, anyone do Akuche, mene show only ground self to buy Akuche. Mene ke akuche you ata oge manye na kokwe baba mi so akuche I want we dabi ayabacha I want boy first good night chata
well I don't know how that could die when what you go my guy chema kenye me ba nyedi o manye ngeke agashi mbaje la fiu shi eshe koni
that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh.
We have to call a spade a spade. Ona keke ngani ability ne ye nagogo chinyem jogbe mo meneme ona enma shiko ability ne ye pe be ejofuye na ona gene ba yue na ability ne ye agbene e dindan Ewo kefem bio ya po akashi lelenche ne ngmalu
because he cannot defend what he writes. Because in my blood for a war, I hear the woman learning legal history. He makes it up in his head. Keke nupe atashi na baleno ko fi ebe kele cheke na wo mi e ke ngma no na esumo e ka call it gospel. These are the people who are destroying Ghana because lay. It is not news to you. If I touch the solo in short, solo in short, what is the difference?
No check, shiche.
No check, mini, shiche. What is the difference? What is what? Okay, mini, double T, etenia, yila, kutia, down, said that. Kabibu, no answer. Okay, you know, what did you say? Oh, Tony, you got the school. Notice a job in no bill and Mingramo.
That's the bit. Which I need I mean, like I said, I'm trying to make sense of.
Come on, he's lucky. I can see Jamie, Monique, if you interview. Hello, Monique. One thing small about Natasha boys. Oh, facial way. Yeah, but no matter show it. Then it becomes about what he's saying. Not about the show that you're doing. Let job be feel. Okay, now you know only a Tomekuma is any a sort of sport or me. Bebata. A catch a little fair. Now it's not about no discussion. No, it's about what he said. A job benefit. My vehicle appeal and come on, I'm like he shall be on the phone. He shall be in person. Second, I guess against the feeling.
Oh, father, nachi. Oh, father.
Oh, I didn't know Sunday.
Barbara, father, it's
the boy, oh, you are no can be nachi.
Oh, I did one Sunday. See, all I get, yeah. King Marley to wear. About winning. Move back winning. It came up with machine jam or you bar. Mimali.
Many will be an nothing of Rabani. I mean, you know,
they don't have a defense. Those are not Abu we call Papa.
The one I get Paddy actually.
You're not going to be in Papa Ghana. You're buying a cafe.
That's actually horrible. You were say that you know the truth. Okay, then it will be the Malio. You will blah.
By force.
Billy Padination, then they are calling. Billy Sunny, and they are calling our money. Hey,
Ona, they quite Yake 2026 here. Obana, I jam a fair pun one name.
Sunny.
Yeah, over the fire suspending. Money or the man. In
oh, that be fine it.
Oh, okay, what's that one? We not you.
That be, but that's a bit harsh. Oh, fine.
Ona, no, Nimpo.
But wait, I can't.
Okay, Papa. What are you?
Oh, fine.
I mean, Paddy, what we can't look at it.
Oh, okay, check, but no fear, sumo, but no fear.
Entirely fear or whatever one can go. No fear was no
that big pack.
Naturally,
Back, but no fear, but in Simona.
What's that? Yo.
Manye na kwa cheku o fine ye ishibami bokete lawe no me olejema won na na eta before
Like up till now, tell them I can move your money. So up till now, we can't change for taking away. I can't move your money. I can move your money. She can machine learn it. I change vocation away. I can't say, so I don't know where you know the thing.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. You have the way you be there. And I want to apologize. I can't do that person because sometimes for me, like you, was just an elect or who you were, say, you know from your show. We take care, okay, I get you that. You say, okay, you know me, you're talking to me, I can't find you, but I know the phone is actually.
Oh, I see.
Yes, yes, that's what I was saying. Now, I can imagine. I can come I should make a phone second year, but you don't go. If you feel like that, I can look over time. You know, and for me, I respect him. He gives me the vibe that in me. The one I wanted him to tell me, I wanted him to plot to himself. They try me, you know, because for getting our back of the never. And the reason I never try to many here, you know, I catch 30 years. They say, Jane, you're never there, you can say, man. He didn't go there. For a decade, the other company in the way I said, he asked her to be going to look at that. They were very there. Because I told you sometimes, I told you, like, the right now is a new generation.
Yeah.
That has gone through one phase. After you get there, like, she and it was another phase. It was this phase is no longer with the care. You need to be the
Yes. Yes.
And when he was there, he took what he knew, what he was doing with them.
Right.
He not only with the year, they take him 1 year, 2 years, so they actually. I can stabilize the year now because now you look at it. Then he cried, they are taking the or not to say the woman of the man, I can see the for the back of no one. That's really the negotiation and things what you have to do. Then I can make out with it.
Right.
They want to use the number of years to not be attaching in the power and they're not going to get going our child. So they're trying the program, I can not appear in the way, or possibly for the way she got.
Right.
Only musician. There is nothing. You know, to buy the nature, you may buy the inquest everybody. But you know, the what you know is that he was a warrior. Nobody can shake that one away from him. You were fair with me. You can be there at the hand.
That's right.
Like I believe at the hand. And then look at we are creating the nature of perception. Now we function with but shutting them idea of perception.
That's right.
Already it's creating history for nobody. And if you are teaching and you are on the way to give instances and evidence, then you better not teach because the time you are just arguing without quick learning.
That's right.
That's right. People back here, that's like when you go to ancestors of your home, back here, I should wait. Me, I get here, I mean, now, I'm sure me, is a little, can be anyway. How would I go and act?
That's a shame. And for us to even, to even go and say, what be a quapime or history, that's it. Anyways, but
it doesn't sit well with me.
At all.
Yeah. I'm a failure for the thing, and we must be. You will not embrace your country, but you need to, me where I get the better to your buyer. Because your country in the
That's right. That's right.
Alternatively, the people now it is in the position he held. Initially,
I'm a Chenny, that's right.
He met them. I'm a fair, I'm a fair,
yeah.
We get a couple, intercede for the it was not to say around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you are trying to say for you, I mean, you get that's changing my woman.
Clearly. Can't change my watching yeah, clearly.
Exactly. Honor. And so I don't know where all of these things are coming from. And I don't know why we are so based on breaking issues. How can somebody try more than they believe? That's why you will go tell them. But I don't care about it. You want to tell me, you are also saying something else. I'm not going to put you about something. And you want to say, I don't know, I'm going to go and Jane, and you want to tell them their identity.
Yeah.
They're not sure, man. They're not sure, man. I mean, I'm a friend, you don't know, you are arguing it out. Actually,
that's right. Ishe. Thank you so much, man. Okaliche, over the properly. So one way.
Yeah, no, you of the new perception and I create or no the fifty organ. Yeah, they won't create me be. One create me be. Well, into one create me be. Chene, my family do man.
Ojo, what the prince in Yam, you know, Uncle Ba.
Not I create me be. You were create over here. Dani won't create me be. No, son about creating, Oh, no, you know the city of God be a me. Jack mini. Noni akitaga ke machine. What you want? You want faith only was more. What debate? Ni heated debate is between what you're not actually when you need ayabache. Ona, you shouldn't be doing any SRP or beer because when I made that's another more.
Yeah.
Now I just can be it's uncalled for.
Yeah, completely.
It's uncalled for because I'm quality a photo kakla. It's very sharp. See the moment you were game or buy and quality when you pay na Ga-Mashie'S. Osuma no quality. Can was suma no quality. Bon quality you mo pe abo yejamo. And quality ban pe ni jamo ta flache. O tie sane na ka onu pa bi. O fe mo le jamo si chani. Le sane chongo ni si ni ke chongo o kan quality amasi po. Walk a bit around the bush, walk in circles. Bien, 100 Luwabi, I'm not faithful. I got me a power. No, the power. If it can be a power, got you. Like a papa, Malone watching the view. In a show, in a show like a papa.
Papa, you watching the view, just young gra.
Maybe actual, oh, no, naturally. Actually, na room yeah, we said no lang ka bro she yeah information gonna make my say. No feel. What is fine to make? Amale lo to le na gesi ankrane ya ni je. Think how mo last year ka ni wo change bio. It has ina ke 100 call because you I don't know. Bona. No, I'm quality me. The same the nunga me na try me yete la bi can be saying je me. Na ni nunga ka me fe because nunga ya me na kai sai de. Na me ta na ba Ga-Mashie'S money. Na ba ya ka me di superior. I me di me go am sure me here. Me na me sure the overlord.
Spiritual overlord.
Spiritual overlord. Spiritual overlord no pogu.
Hey, behave. Anyways, it's
well, no me no me jacket ni de and quality to me no when you na and quality ku me pay je aka beat around the bush no ali I go ga man ko is not true then and quality where you be we ye amale be and quality wo fe ku me cheju nye ju onupa ju be kan ju wo fe ku no apa amale ni wo fe wo ke gan wo kan quality atwa Ga-Mashie'S ibina
and once again show ne like I said Kewana Noko out there ni it make sense. We try to make sense out of it. In the Benin you all and I don't know me again Kellen. You try to make sense out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So Ochine me like what you go do? What na fire oja video go kanoko ede ba fe ko nege let tag me. She na what back what she ne a circulate wa ade nche. No na get that be na circulate wa if I ni big be come ba na ma learn the wrong history. So this subject cannot go by what I but I put no go out there. No, I put out there. I'm not letting you call it out. That's just what it is. week name here why you go Michigan Ngwasani. We what move forward.
Any part of maybe I won a Asafoatse Kojo Nseni.
I get back and no atole I will ega.
I will only Mankata ina. I will kunina. But you're not trying to get it.
That's right.
It's sad, but it's sad. Kurana naka akonto eni bu agbere igba afashika.
Yeah.
Igba afashika. I will. You were bad money done about your bed. You don't need that. No, you can't about you can't think.
That's right.
That's as far as Mankata feel like he was safe. Yeah, one and a bad now.
That's right. Is it? Okay, Akuje, our final words. Our final words.
Yo, ndati.
Yeah.
Minda mafia moshi.
Nagai.
Enole. Surely,
Akuje, mene no mo twin shola be ogadi bi egmeshi clear. Oda.
So mutual si. First wapa me wache menyo fine.
That's right.
Wapa wache menyo fine. When you like papa me get simply ba nege me onyo pata mi si me je mi pata.
Me bo pata ona.
Mi pata. Mi pata. Mi pata. Ini una gashi to bani manyana koko ye asumo na ka no kwale ba chuni. Ni biane noni ya no kaji aka no kwale chuni be ga fe ni machine eyin.
That's right.
Don't forget to grant move on if you don't need that fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Cheme come polenche ni Amelia ni kwalie. I mean Toma ni kwalie can bumoshi. Because of Amelia self-interest. Ona.
Yeah.
Ni ameme can you fit it than iba go so get bago itesa. I can kwala wasa. Ni eneme come di ni TV no ba ni onake no na yo ayu anu kwale chibo mo ko no support ole alo o self interest wo o to ba chomo anu kwale ye ona ni e afi different no like me unko wo me ni ko wo fe me pi most of them abada bakase no ko ebi e wo ko oba no ba chomo le pe o ba me yana Una, because only ake ke uba platform kutumuneke. When you start there, you have to finish it. Ke ukoe ba wosani emie ke ole ke ole nwe be sano obe shidini akanukola ngishin. Ke afina katumo ayweni ni embulo bonu to ba uba distract me with the show.
Yep.
Una ni wo pafai. Israel Kashi. Israel Kashi. Amen puna meka eko medelana ametina mato nunwale nche. Ame wo mini wo ameja no ni original waje no ameshika magbete aga nyi chika magbete ye. Yo kaka aja wo ame wo sana me ameja ame wo no ameja. Na ame use no. Wo no na ameshika magbete ye. No fita 99 ye ko mi. Ora ni bi e come to mo no yu be bi je wo lo kan mo she want to use logic
yes.
Most of the time you
yes
because no you fair injo mo ni nke bi o question nke you je ni kan wo lo ko because you know come ka you if when you feel it you have to feel it.
Yep.
Yeah. So nobody are feeling now you or no but any near crack near agbe na here. Ona ni what you need actually you know ba chok ba na makele ake bi ene je wo sani wo keta bi ene
wo fi enyo fe that's
right ni wo yo bi abo yo bi ene je baja ole mi pe no ba ta bi e ayu enyo no sana kan na ba kan no sana yi wo Una o eka yusu to mo mi lewolo mi na mi ke mba manye nka wolo le awi na me da bi onyo ko afi na kan ye bi e impa you go push up na no mi gwa mo se ko je wolo msa ne so na ka mo no ke wolo na ko ke njo yi ma because nobody na can be when nobody answer say fake bibu no come no come machine. Don't take a brain to pull about tabio bono na yo bo le. Chibo okono futu ma jomo.
Yeah.
When you are done, come back.
All right, manya na kwa cheku over ne oye no go do basmo do get fitai.
Me. I can love you there. Gamma, whatever you are rewriting history. We don't like the identity. We don't like who we are. And until many Gamma we not that go. He's a learned colleague. Learned colleague. We can let them watch it. Well, it has paying me more because this is like we weaponizing ourselves. The next accolade no ban jacket she check and notice. It's going to use bump locally we really would not even want to hear. And I am saying that like in any way, if we were about I local make a best example for our site. Make them evaluate and then negotiation. Me and I relate to you. You have no business teaching. Get a ballet. I can hear more about one on the for no ask no ni gani kashi mo ko le da pelu. Ni ko le da ata
right
because that ni bi ni family for. We're not the one in formula. I mean, you are managing the name, no, one on what I. So, what can you put the pope me and you know, I hear any time you know all because we don't know. Not only go there, but we know about your own now. The care only only the picture no who know now, the care if what kind of you are, but I tell you, how you are fast, the one to see a money, and you are how sunny.
Right.
Because I believe, after regardless of the fact, after when you need a year, they try question you, and then they don't manage because they are trying to prevent certain questions and certain answers. They are catching boy at Billy and she said, I have a boy, or Billy Mama, now part of the land. They didn't do. Why don't we have to do the journey text that last year? They didn't show you about the machine and I think we're going to do you know what? Sajin, Savian, I come on with you. The worker about the book about because she is not the world and the normal way to be because this and again. I try and say, the first time me and ask the day, not a minute. After all, if I want not to use the one day. Do you think after somebody has not thought of asking as a person, but just to save face and save pride in the world, a lot of people have done a American come in. You know, they can work by nobody really cool. Don't be very cautious with actually your because, like I always say, I mean, this is a very limited platform, and the kind of people, I'm an opinion, and you have people which can check, when you feel like on the page, say, here, General William, you not be friends like that. Well, get over you, there's nothing wrong with you passing over a person thing like a winner. I don't have an idea. So there's not you embarrass yourself while trying to make the point. Okay, what you are saying is making sense. But my is shipping.
Right. That's right.
These things are not necessary to me. Okay, she check, let's check. But not anything. At the end of the day, the result is what we are looking for.
That's right. That's right.
And my thinking is that you don't let us see you go on their own. They don't touch the people that they belong to.
That's right.
I'm like, I don't get what the problem between Ga-Mashie'S and because we are supposed to be each other's people. Therefore, it's a catch of what they will properly. You see that it does not only the your transfer money be the Game, you are not aware of me to share what a bone.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that the stress in the alcohol there. It's too much.
That's right.
It's too much.
That's right.
When you move forward, she will have to I just say,
Nakai.
she can't go about she told you the family that you can do.
Thank you.
That's
right. Isha. Thank you so much, Manye. Thank you so much. Yeah.
For 1 minute. For the moment you look only ear panel. When I can hear from people be one side. On the machine. The if it more when no wabi amitawo pote. Near Mofiamo no me, Mofiamo vocabulary away. On the machine. She can't fit more. O yekemba moko no mi uto ni bo otamoko moko no alota le ipawa no keni biye eke totomo ba onu shi
yeah
ona on se me video ko ne je ko ni mo da fro mi ti ya ke si ma ke mo ko buba ke mo jo ka o ka ke ojo ma mi musumi mancho yu na ka ke ka bibo aka yu story ko aka your story can go back and more je can more doma musumi no mean that case 200 years and I'm afraid kataman swear boy ni baba can be like lengbe it's your history if I can make see I want musumi no
that's right
are you trying to tell people to insult people
yeah
because okay that's an indirect insult
yeah
che osmoni akaseni alo osmoni atomo story ni akejeme
that's right Ishe all right thank you so much abache ke wakpa nshi fen abu
I don't get my clothes my kakeshi part of the reason only one in fun wa bekene is because sure ni okay back bekene èèyàn wà níbi kò mẹ̀yẹ nísàlẹ̀ wọ́n discuss ní wọ́n ìwé ní jí àmẹ̀kù ní ìyàbàrá kẹ ní nàntí àtúrà àgbò kẹ ìbá wù mí. Níyọ̀ sí akẹ́ṣi dáká ìwé nìkó ní tẹ̀fúlà àkyẹ́ ẹ̀ ń wọ́n yẹ ní wọ́n máa gbẹ̀ fún sùnmọ́ ní ìkẹyà wù mí ní ẹ̀chá kẹwìí mu. Whether we like it or not, our platform may be both way.
Right.
The flat she by me may say maybe I mean to buy what history can it be in the consuming can it be or be a job both platform and on me application can it be okay wana moko ni dar ke de baba ne e acha ke ni bia hin e apoto nu hin nagba
right
titri ni mukuni ahiole iyo to believe you that as an individual I have a special disdain for people like him. They misrepresent the truth and the facts in our history. Nwani intriba so much. Now, what must serve a special notice to mofe monofo ya ko ba bia no amale. Ni tete kefe ba metri e ba jo twi na kani bi me spare na kani 2026 ko ba ni wacha ke ni bi ahin wa poto nu yin wa male nko ba pe ni na ta chola agbo esa ni pone ba platform ni no don ya ke dare baba ne iba male iba chake ni bi ni ba fite ni bi ni boro ana echon blo mo ke gidigidi ke ni bi no eyan wo ke oba you have a different perspective. Koba, ni bole a different side of the story. No buy we no problem. Buy we ni ofe wakase ni. Chikaba ni obule anukwale no wa chaki anukwale here. Kaba no buy we ni binka bibosani no aken le. Jage ni bole to volunteer information e. Yeah, you know le. Show volunteer information ni won ta wakase me okay no okay no le ne. O menji enshi gba mi tun eke bo mi fun eke oga ka oli. Alo wa ole hunwe so wa make up a story. Agreka abibo mi ona e no chon. Na ka no woke kase ni e bi e. E wo minister special notice to mo fe mo no ba wa bi no la kechi o ba no ba male samo e. Nde te go wa ngo ti mi ma nke ba habo. Ie kese. Ya ke ye she ko nsani wo kan kwale atuni ye kan e. Ya ka male no pata ndi bi ahin. To me ni me wo amale no pata gan hin. Ke wo le ya go ke won ta unity. Shaka male tuni. Te we wo fear ko me ni aka male tuni. Or the likes of JC and Cracker, the likes of Nina actually agbome. I mean, we serve am notice. Come ba ke ba ha me. They think wa be. Rado.
Ishe. And once again,
yeah. Actually, program and look at that. I mean, we always notice with minimum of year.
Ishe.
What's our body?
Once again, ima wing pabo fire. Kale no question we boli. Suma. I don't know. Get ima mi ame fe ame egbe ko me so I don't know mami ni. Ame fe egbe ko me di ame. Suma. Aleno ke aleno only the share video they no big babo fire. I apologize. Ake mene aywe money ebashibo. And of course Eben senior fine bonka aleno only the share video ne no. I apologize. Ake kechon platform ne no aywe ni ebashibo. We are doing this for God and country. So it is
That's actually a lady money. Well, papa. Papa live not a bit. I will let you me actually. You can go valley.
All right. So wamami go papa won pa fire ke mene boli wonu chumo ye wo ekwe basanye nyeke kiawo nyebi di wo boli. So wa wo sande ke ba. So won pa fire tanye eko so won pa fe fire. Anyways, chemega nyeme. For the love of Gandangwe, that is why we do this. Wo obasa obaba bi eko. On a picture ani canon. When you make a legibokete lawe, I have a full script prepared on this, but I'll save that for later. Inke ayabache, what prepare, what faith DB come for this, but we'll save that for later. No, the last time I didn't get chombiake and it like picture ne legi numo bokete lawelo. You guys remember I asked that question. There is a reason behind it. What site documents jinkome ke ni bi jinkome ni boy at the appropriate time nyeba ne no biage lele bokete la we le ne lo. Number 2, once again, if the progenitor bokete la we is the gbabu wulomo at the same time a wulomoni to moboni wacheni na te choni wulome to moboni wate kaje levita, you know, there is a special dressing. We know that. You see, some of these things like logically making sense. Well, yake wulome ni nye wanye Levites jiame. Lewi bi ami ameje. Lewi bi ame ye boni ame sa amehi. Bible it describe pepe. Nike okwe wa wulome ke jame pampan ke bagi ame ni bi na ame wo na ken pepe jiboni. Bible it describe let we be a can na kanji boni I'm a dresser because of software na me yo. Nuwame ke wake wachene leji bokete lawe. noni woko ne e boko noko ni nchon wake lewi nyoni nko shejeme ene page drawing na me draw ejeme. So there is nothing about this picture ni a depictor wache ni kano wake wache ne lewi nyoni. Nothing. But it supported the fact that he's a warrior because clearly, a machete, right? He has a machete and a spears, right? The spears. So clearly, you can tell. So how did this person transform from being a warrior, clearly depicted in this picture? How did this person move from this to Lewinu? Once again, these are the questions they won't be. You understand? Once again, we're trying to make sense out of it. I don't know. You are trying to make sense out of it. You are trying to make sense out of it. You understand what I'm saying? More. You understand? The optics. The optics. Add the app. Let we be here. I boni am address you. So what you need? Keji eye wulo mo unless ekole na kan bia me no me asha ewu lo mo atale e mo shi asha na me asha picture shi ekole gbine fe ya ge ba ya ta na ekole asha le picture ni ona well in problem ne problem they be that na me try the mamoko. But anyways chebe gebe yeah you wala don or I pay be a war mama can the document manye so war mama can the document manye so or baba be nyefenye yana wala da nyefenye ga wajno bye bye.